Rashad, why you
anyways.
didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Hey, what's up? We're gonna talk about sports today
And other things. Congratulations to Paige Baker. Is obviously one of the people who, one of the four founding fathers of this channel. Pistol Paige Buckets. Man, I'm so happy and proud of Paige. I'm not quite Gary Knox, but you know I ain't. Paige Baker's Rookie of the Year, dude. Man, the probably the most heartwarming part of it all was Gary Knox, though. I ain't gonna lie, Gary Knox's response to it and everything like that. Like he said, he was just, someone calling out an obvious thing, and but I don't know. The whole story is beautiful. You love to see it. That's why you know what I'm saying? You watch the kids, the next generation, and you speak life into them and things of that sort. Remember, I never liked this tweet. No, let me like it now. Congrats to Paige, a new page in their WNBA chapter. It's crazy. I like the new one from yesterday and everything else. Now WNBA Rookie of the Year, still the greatest heat check of the take game of all time. Facts. Congratulations to Paige from Kyrie Irving. The baby goat handle business Rookie of the Year, Paige Beckers. There it is, 2025 Rookie of the Year. She found out in the J. Hud Spirit Tunnel. National champion, the Rookie of the Year, Paige Beckers. Everybody, shout out to Paige Beckers. Name remembered. 15% concentrated power and will. 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reasons to remember the name. Like, y'all remember that? That's old school. Let me see if I could find like an actual basic story from the WNBA. Here we go. From the WNBA, the press release. Dallas Wings, Paige Beckers wins the 2025 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year award. Dallas Wings guard Paige Beckers has been named the 2025 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year. The WNBA announced today. She's the first player to earn the honor with Dallas since Alicia Gray in 2017. She turned out to be a good player, huh? Beckers received 70 votes from a panel of 72 sports writers and broadcasters. Washington guard Sonia Citron received 2 votes. I've seen a lot of people say Citron should have won. Citron only had 2 votes. That's criminal. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I don't know what y'all get from these TikTok live darlings. Salute to Sonia Citron. I've been a fan of Sonia Citron's for years. You can check on the channel. You can check the receipts. That's the thing about having a channel for years. You can check the receipts. And shouts out to Kiki as well. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to what they were doing in Washington, but it gets to a point, dude. There's levels to this, bro. The stuff that Paige Beckers was doing, rookies do not do. It was stuff that Caitlin Clark was doing. Rookies do not do that stuff. It was stuff that Candace Parker was doing. Rookies do not do that stuff. That stuff just doesn't happen. Paige Becker scored 44 points in the game and should have won the game if the Jokers would have locked down for one more defensive possession. But Plum Dog got by and hit the banked the layup. Banked into Florida at the end of the game. Paige Beckers in New York, between the legs, ping, ping, ping. Spin around, ooh, behind the back, ooh, what the heck? Between the legs again, ooh, step back. Oh my gosh. Paige Beckers was playing jazz in New Orleans. She was playing jazz in New Orleans. She was playing jazz in New York more so than the first person to do so than Langston Hughes in the Harlem Renaissance. It was ridiculous, bro. Paige Beckers was on a different level than any other rookie, eye test wise, numbers wise, anything wise, except for wins. And that's because she ain't have a better team. That's it. And at the end of the day, with the better team of the Washington Mystics, with y'all 2 Rookie of the Years, y'all still ain't make the playoffs. So now what? We both out the playoffs. We both watching from the couch. So now what? A starter in all 36 of her appearances, and Dominique, the rookie baby baguette. Yo, she ain't played 70% of the season. She played at the end. She played well. Last night she had 11 rebounds, like 10 points. She ain't played the whole season. And now all of a sudden we want to give her the Rookie of the Year over Paige, who's having a generational rookie year. Like, I mean, Kaylin had a great rookie year too, and so did Angel Reese last year. And, Candace Parker and Maya Moore. And, you can go down the list. But it's probably like a top 5 rookie season of all time when you think about it, bro. And the fact that people were like, "Oh, she shouldn't have won," is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Y'all should be shaming yourselves. Baker's averaged 19.2 points, 5.4 assists, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.6 steals in 33.3 minutes. I got another rant. This is a side rant. So shout out Luther, by the way, Alexis Morris, longtime friend of the channel, solid individual. I root for her. She knows that. If you don't know Alexis Morris, I root for you. I told you before directly, but it's always best to say things when people aren't looking, and or when people aren't in front of you or whatever. What you say behind their back. However, some things that Lex has said and done and acted in the past few years can lead for a bit of, okay, grace, understanding. Okay, this might be this. And I say that because with her latest allegations that she has put out, for those of you who don't know, in short, I'm not making a whole video out of this. It's just going to be in this. I might end up making a video out of it if it continues to develop. In short, she was talking about there was a member of the LSU women's basketball staff that, took advantage of her potentially, allegedly. And she said she was ready to tell the world all of these things, right? The only people who are still pressing about it are the South Carolina fans. And the South Carolina fans, here's my theory, are pressing so much about it because of how LSU fans and other fans press South Carolina for how they handled the Ashlyn Watkins situation last year. Ashlyn Watkins, for those of you who forgot or just didn't know, was arrested for DV last year. The case was ultimately dropped. Something happened. The girl ended up coming out and said she was lying or something like that. I don't know. But the story changed like 2-3 times before the girl ended up just saying she was lying and the case was dropped. Something happened. Do not know what. Ashlyn Watkins comes back. She gets hurt. And then this season, she says she's sitting out for the sake of her mental health and getting her mental back right. I don't know what's going on. Something might be going on. Regardless, South Carolina fans ever since then, they've been on Michaela Williams when Michaela Williams faced some allegations of how she treated her ex physically. And now with this current situation of Alexis Morris talking about an LSU staffer who took advantage of her as well. Just something I'm noticing. It's like, dang, if y'all fighting for true justice and true this and that, don't do it just because a person is going to a rival school. Do it because you genuinely care about the alleged victims and the allegations and things of that sort. I say all this to say, I believe the only reason why people were even trying to build cases up for Sonia Citron against Paige Beckers in this whole thing was because they were fans of the Mystics, Sonia Citron, or Kiki, or anti-Paige, Caitlin Clark fans, whatever the case might be, right? And that's not right. You should say something out of opinion, not because of your personal feelings, but because of the facts. Facts are the facts. Track record is track record. Everything I've ever said about, I'm going to go back to Atlanta because I'm from Atlanta. I speak about Atlanta a lot. Everything I said about the Atlanta Dream, in particular Ryan Howard, and this thing, it's because of a pattern that I've seen over the years with Ryan Howard. It's a pattern that I've seen over the years with the Atlanta Dream. You notice things, you take things. Okay. Alicia Gray, Leash comes out one night, scores 18 points or goes 26 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Oh man, MVP candidate, a couple steals, everything like that. She's looking great. She's knocking down every 3-pointer. She comes out the next night, 9 minutes, 7 points, or 26 minutes, 7 points, 30 minutes, 9 points. What's going on? What is this inconsistency? So you see that from Alicia Gray. Sometimes you see that from Ryan. And I've seen it enough to be like, dang, like they kind of like, they have these hot streaks where they go hot for a couple weeks, and then a few nights they might have a string of 3-4 games where they just like, what's going on? You point that out, that's based off facts. It's not based off feelings of, oh, I don't rock with this person because it's so-and-so. And I feel like that's what a lot of that is happening right now in women's basketball. And it's happening everywhere. There's a reason why they call it fanatics and things of that sort, but it's just something I'm noticing, bro. Just wanted to point out. Starting in all 36 of her appearances, Baker's averaged 19.2 points, 5.4 assists, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.6 steals in 33.3 minutes, and shot 47.4% from the field and 88.8% from the free throw line. She led all rookies in total points per game, total assists, and assists per game. Baker's also ranked second among rookies in steals per game and field free throw percentage, and fourth in field goal percentage. On top of taking the Wings franchise rookie records, Baker's finished third all time in both rookie points and total rookie assists. She's also tied for second for the most double-digit scoring games by a rookie, 35. Among all WNBA players, Baker's ranked fifth in points per game, sixth in steals per game, and ninth in assists per game. On August 20th against the Los Angeles Sparks, Baker sent a WNBA single game rookie record with 44 points, making 17 of 21 shots. That's crazy from the field, 81%. She became the first NBA player in WNBA history to score 40 or more points and shoot at least 80% from the field in the game. Crazy. Bakers was also voted for a starter for Team Collier in the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. She was also named the Kia WNBA Rookie of the Month 3 consecutive times, June, July, and August. Additional highlights of Baker's 2025 season include what happened to my camera. It just disappeared. What's going on? That thing just disappeared, man. That's crazy. Let me see if it's going to come back. I'll give it a second. The camera just disappeared, man. What's that with Fred? Fred playing by himself. Fred, I'm going to try to take this, see if that affects. I don't know. She was the only player this season ranked in the top 10 in points, assists, and steals per game. She became the first rookie in WNBA history to average at least 15 points and 5 assists and shoot at least 45% or higher from the field this season. She scored at least 10 points in each of her 30 games, the fourth longest streak to ever begin a career in WNBA history. She became the second rookie in WNBA history to record multiple games of scoring at least 35 points, joining Wings teammate Enrique Gomawale in 2019. She became the second rookie in WNBA history to finish with at least 500 points, 150 assists, 100 rebounds, and 50 steals in the season, joining Caitlin Clark. She posted 10 games with at least 20 points and 5 assists, the second most by a rookie in WNBA history. Clark had 18 last season. And then she became the fastest rookie in WNBA history to reach 500 points and 100 assists. Bakers was selected by the Wings with the number 1 overall pick in 2025 WNBA draft presented by State Farm after a decorated career at the University of Connecticut. A 3-time AP All-American first team selection, Bakers led the Huskies to the Final Four in each of her 4 seasons, and she played and won the national championship in the 2024-2025 season. In honor of being named the 2025 Kia Rookie of the Year, Bakers will receive $5,150 in a trophy designed to commemorate her achievement. Below are the voting results for the 2025 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. And the list of past recipients. Paige Bakers received 70 votes. Sonia Citron received 2 votes. Past Rookie of the Years: Tracy Reed, Shamika Holsqua, Betty Lennox, Jackie Stiles, Tamika Ketchen, Cheryl Ford, Diana Taurasi, Tamika Johnson, Simone Augustus, Arminty Price, Candace Parker, Angel McCautry, Tina Charles, Maya Moore, Neko Wumake, Elena Del Don, Shanae Wumake, Joel Lloyd, Stewie, Alicia Gray, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, Crystal Dangerfield, Michaela Onyenwere, Ryan Howard, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Paige Bakers. Congratulations to Paige Bakers and welcome to the club. Now, next thing next. Oh, man. All right. Let's get into it, man. I posted it yesterday. I know at the time I upload this, it's not the hot topic anymore, but who cares if it's the hot topic? We got to keep it a bean, bro. We have to keep it a bean. Who cares if it's not the hot topic anymore? We have to keep it a bean. Spade is spade. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Adrian Bronner, you wrong, brother. I don't care if he was intoxicated. I don't care if he was under any type of drugs. We are stepping up. We calling you out publicly. And like they said, Why didn't Cam call him a junkie and call him drunk and everything like that when he was there? When he was there, he said, "I love you, bro." He hugged him and everything like that. And he said, "We only brought you on the show for entertainment," but he said, "Thank you for coming on, bro." This and that. When he was there and handing him his money. And some people said he didn't want to get in the fight. He didn't want to escalate the situation, and he wasn't trying to fight with no professional boxer. That being said, if we get knocked out for talking trash about Adrian Broner, AB online, whoop-de-doo, we gonna get knocked out then. We stepping for Stat, baby. We stepping for Chris Next Door from A&P. We stepping for both of them. Both of them is good people, bro. Both Stat and Chris is good people. Now, Stat, I ain't gonna lie. Stat was supposed to be on the, you know what I'm saying? I asked her to come on the channel another time for a second time for a particular instance to talk about a particular topic. She said, "What? Should we do it?" And then she ended up taking that same thing. She didn't respond. She ain't go on the channel. She took the same thing and she talked about it on one of their shows. And I said, "Dang, you gonna take that as a whole topic? Like, that's kind of crazy." However, still, all in all, she's young. She's good people. Chris Next Door, good people. Y'all seen the interview with them? Chris Next Door is up on the channel. "Hey, Chris, can I interview?" "Yeah, no problem." "Hey, Chris, can I? What's up? What's up, Chris?" No cameras. Chris was handing. "What's good, bro?" Dap me up every single time. And you know, "Oh, who is you?" "Nah, bro, standoffish, looking at me like I'm an outside the lane, whatever the case. Buddy, really solid dude, real cool dude. Shouts out to Chris Next Door, bro. And shouts out to Treasure as well. Treasure Wilson, man. Stat, baby. We not disrespecting them too, bro. In particular, we not disrespecting Treasure Wilson because she's a black woman and we know it's protect black women. That's my name on Twitch, protect black women. Yup. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I ever start, twitching, streaming on Twitch. I don't know if I'm gonna create a whole nother profile with my name on it just to keep the protect black woman name. But I don't play that, bro. We do not play that black woman around here, bro. You don't go up there and be disrespectful to a black woman in our place of employment. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that's the first time you met the woman. Like, y'all don't even have no type of rapport or that type of relationship to even try to make those type of advances, bro. Especially live on the air. Is you stupid? Is you dumb? What's wrong with you, brother? And then, like I say, I'm not scared, bro. I am not scared. If Adrian Broner gonna see me in person, because I say everything I say on this channel, I say it like, okay, I'm gonna have to see these people in real life. And a lot of times these people might have by chance, whether they got 14 views or 1,400 views, are gonna see it, right? So in the case that I see this man in public, everything like that, he pressed me. What was all that you was talking? I gotta stand on it, bro. If we get knocked out by Adrian Broner for stepping for Stat and Chris Next Door, whoop-de-doo. We getting knocked out then. I'm going. I know what the result gonna be if we throw hands, but still, you still whack for doing this, bro. Leave black women alone, bro. Let them be professionals in their place of employment. Stat has climbed the ranks and done so many great things. She was in the movie with Adam Sandler over the summer. She was in the what else? She in Madden. She's in the new Madden game and everything like that. Madden 26. All of these things. She's climbed a lot of ranks that a lot of kids her age aspire to be. She gives young black girls and her peers in media and sports media, people older than her, people younger than her, all something to aspire to and look up to, or things that's possible through sports media and things of that sort. She gave away and she sacrificed her entire social life in college to get to this point. And she had, she was just working behind the scenes as a researcher. It is what it is. They call her up to host. She hosts. She gets the rough parts out the way. She wrinkles up and stuff like that. While she's still in school, she graduates. As soon as she graduates, they decide to move her across the country to Vegas to continue the show. And she grows up right in front of our eyes. And she becomes one of the best sports TV show hosts out there at the age of like 22, 23, bro. She's like, what, 24 now, maybe 24. And you know what I'm saying? And she's doing her thing. She has her own show. What's up with the Stat? Check out the Stat, everything like that. All that stuff matters, bro. All that stuff matters. And you know what I'm saying? And she's really like, one of the pioneering kind of media members for this generation and things of that sort for the younger girls. So leave Stat baby alone, bro. She goes to work, does her job, goes home. She talk about the anime, she talk about the video games, she talk about the nerdy stuff, and she goes on Twitch. She streams video games on Twitch. Like she's literally just a innocent woman. She mind her business and she go home. Leave her alone, bro. And that goes for every woman at their job or in their place of employment. If you don't know this woman and she not giving you any type of sign that she's interested, even if she's giving you type, just really leave her alone. But I get it. I'm a man too. I'm attracted to women. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I get it. In certain instances, you feel the static, you feel it, and you might say something, and then you notice that the static that you thought you felt was off all along. Keep it pushing, bro. Ain't no need to harp on it and you got me distracted, bro. Man, I just can't. Man, keep it pushing, bro. Leave the woman alone, dog. That because there's a fine line between flirting and y'all know the H word. So that is what it is, man. No pun intended. I want to go to the thing. Arabia is speaking about stat. Instead of me speaking about stat, this another friend. This another solid person, bro. I met Arabia, all NFL 32. I met her at the Super Bowl this year in New Orleans in February. Very solid individual as well, friend of the channel.
It is what it is. And I've never really told this story, but the first time I was ever on the show about a year ago, we're behind the scenes, we're getting ready, doing mic checks and stuff. And I hear Cam say, she better come with it, because if not, this will be her last time on this show. She was just like, I don't care. This could be her first time and her last time. And I was like, oh, okay. And so you got
Thank you, Nick.
The first time for the last time.
Yeah, man. Listen, because the one thing about it is, this, and I didn't mean for you to hear, but the thing about it is, we don't do pre-K. This is grad school. This is when you get out of college. We can't teach you for where you need to be. Like, and I don't want to say the girl's name because we did it a few times on this.
So that's one. And then we're going to scroll up right here. Not a lot of black women in the spaces I'm in this industry. Mason Cam not only trusted me as a part of their business, but they gave me an opportunity for my own show. Stat, there is no one in the world like you. Thank y'all for creating this space for me and others like me. Stat, baby. You've done stuff like this. You've given back and everything. Check out the stat. A lot of the early episodes, she just brought on her friends. There were other journalists at various other outlets around the country. People she grew up with, people she grew up connecting with, networking with, and everything like that in the industry. Those are her peers, Stat is not necessarily my peer because I'm like a different age group and things of that sort. Like, I'm slightly older than her and stuff like that. So, but in terms of her age group and stuff like that, those are the people she gives opportunities to and shines a light on. And the fact that she even did initially give me that, initial interview and stuff like that, I appreciate it and everything. So, Stat, you're appreciated, you're valued. And Adrian Broner, check yourself, my bro. And for every man watching this right now, you need, what I'm saying, it's up to us to be the allies and to speak up and to be the mouthpiece when we see wrong behavior in public, especially when it's our homegirls, especially when it's our dogs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't go for that. And we got to let people know that it's not right. And it's not, you just can't do that in front of us. Molly off of First Take. I haven't watched the Stephen A thing of how he said it on First Take or what he said on the thing. Let me see. I'm going to just put in Molly First Take. I didn't put in the link because I didn't want to copyright. But like, I legit have no clue what's going on. Like, I saw something that was like Stephen A said he knew what was going on, but he wasn't gonna say it. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. But I'll share this little tab. It's 9 seconds, bro. It's 9 seconds.
That story is for her to tell. Do I have an idea? Of course I do. Am I going to share it with you? No, because again, that's her story to tell.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, bro. Let me see if I can find the clip of them opening up the show, because she announced, it leaked out that she wasn't renewing her contract and she was leaving, right? That's what leaked out first. And then she put out the statement and said, hey, this isn't the way I wanted it to go, but thank you, ESPN and First Take, for all the years and stuff like that. Then in the morning, it was just like, y'all saw Molly make her announcement. She's not coming back. And people are like, what the heck? She's not coming back. I thought she was going to the end of the year. And then so they said something on First Take that was like, I know y'all seen the news, she ain't coming back. And then yeah, and then Stephen A said this. Nobody knows what's going on right now except for Molly and the people inside ESPN and people close to Molly. I have no clue what's going on. And but yeah, but that's what's going on right now. Let me go to the reaction of it. There's a couple people that said some things. Oh, okay, is this it? All right, here we go. Hold on. Okay, so Stephen A said she resigned. I'm gonna go fast instead of slow.
Last night,
Subscribe to this Stephen A. Smith show, by the way, on his YouTube channel and things of that sort.
she abruptly resigned as the host of the show. And to say that I'm quite sad about it is an understatement. Molly is a friend. Molly is a coworker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to me. We've been partners on the show for the last 10 years. And a lot of times some of these things happen and it's just uncomfortable to see. The details, quite frankly, are none of y'all business. But it's not as if I know all the details. It was a contract negotiation that was going on. ESPN certainly did not want to lose her. But in the event, in the end, rather, she made a decision to walk away from the show effective immediately. As you see from her Instagram post, last night, she abruptly resigned as the host of the show. And to say that I'm quite sad about it is an understatement. Molly is a friend. Molly is a coworker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to partners.
For this, I looked up Carrie Champion just to see if Carrie Champion said anything. I haven't seen Carrie Champion say anything. I don't even know. I think she probably deleted her Twitter, bro. This is the last thing that she's uploaded on Instagram, though. It's given a new look for a TV show. Sex and the City meets bosses. Love this, ladies. We need to make sure we laugh when we leave the house and leave the house. Shouts out to Carrie Champion, bro. My queen. I know some people said something about it in the comment section. I just know they did. But I don't know. Carrie, if you're interested, I know you left ESPN on your own will and stuff like that. I'd love to see Carrie Champion back, bro. Yeah, she deleted her Twitter. She deleted her Twitter, bro. That's crazy. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find some, maybe on her Facebook, where she said something. Nope. She ain't been on Facebook since 2022. She just went off the grid. Salute, I suppose, but goodness gracious. Let me see if I can find anything else with Carrie Champion. Carrie Champion, friend of the channel as well. The first time I met Carrie Champion, she's kind of like giving me a tough time. And then the second time she saw me, she was like overly nice, I guess, because of the last time she gave me a tough time. And I think the second time said more about her character than the first time, bro. I don't know. I know that's like a random thing to say, but I remember people who be nice to me, bro. And I remember people who don't be nice to me. But anyways, yeah, weird. We don't know what's going on, bro.
The announcement
Whitlock
that Molly Qerim is stepping away from First Take. I think it's now the appropriate time to talk about her first ballot induction into the Sports Eye Candy Hall of Fame. This
man is gooned out, bro. This man is gooned out. He done had this. He done had the perfect, beautiful peanut butter skin, just sitting on top. I could have had it if I wanted it, but I decided to turn it. This man is freaked out, bro.
First ballot inductee. There's no question about it. There've only been,
and the only thing he can speak on, as far as I'm concerned, is snacks.
4 previous first ballot inductions into the Eye Candy Hall of Fame. Of course, Carissa Thompson with Fox Sports. Of course, Erin Andrews with ESPN, her work there, and her work at Fox Sports. Then I think you have to include Susie Colbert, an historical run at ESPN, and a first ballot Hall of Famer, of course. And then someone that I think has to be in the GOAT conversation for Eye Candy, a young woman by the name of Taylor Rooks. She's young. Her resume is not as filled as some of these other people I'm talking about, but clearly a first ballot Eye Candy Hall of Famer. Look, when I mentioned the Erin Andrews, maybe it wasn't on my ballot, as a first ballot person, but I have to give it up to Erin Andrews. And I think we're in the same position with Molly Qerim. Molly Qerim's case for first ballot induction is overwhelming. I think it's unquestioned. The woman is a knockout. And she's someone that I prefer to listen to and watch with the sound turned down, just so I don't miss any of her radiant beauty. First ballot Hall of Famers are one thing. My top 10 in terms of eye candy, this is my ranking of the greatest sports eye candy in television history. I have Susie Colbert at number 1.
You need some milk.
That's not a controversial pick. Joe Namath backed me up on that. I think he inducted her into the eye candy Hall of Fame. I'm going to put, and this will be a controversial take, I'm going to put Molly Qerim at number 2. Molly Qerim, you guys know how I feel about peanut butter. Molly Qerim's got it, and she's first ballot Hall of Fame. She's my number 2 on my list. Number 3 is the incomparable Taylor Rooks. Taylor Rooks, I can't say enough about her. Number 4, she wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, but she's in my Hall of Fame. Holly Saunders. That's who I would put at number 4. Carissa Thompson at number 5. Aaron Rodgers, I have her ranked 6th. This will be another controversial pick.
Aaron Rodgers.
Champion. Got her at number 7. Then Lindsay Zarniak. You guys remember Lindsay? Christine Leahy and Jenny Taft round out my top 10.
Bro, these are people he worked with, bro. Like, he's publicly saying this about his former coworkers. Bro, you freaked out, bro. Lock that man up, bro. Lock that man up. Out here cooking. Hall of Fame trajectory, Kay Adams. Yeah, this man. Aaron Rodgers. Ranked 6.
With the announcement that Molly Qerim.
What's wrong with you, bro? He's tweaking. He's tweaking, man. Shouts out to Taylor Rooks, man, friend of the channel. Shouts out to Carrie Champion, once again, friend of the channel, man. And Taylor Rooks, Atlanta native, bro. Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County, stand up. What is we talking about, huh? Georgia girl. Okay, Marcellus Wiley.
Position.
Give me a second here. Marcellus Wiley, y'all know. He another, like, if you were talking about Lexus Morris earlier, Marcellus Wiley, another one of them where he just be, sometimes the stuff he be saying just be a little off base. So you take it with a grain of salt, whatever he says anyway.
And then you get to the position where you're in another contract negotiation. You're not hearing what you want to hear. You're not hearing it not only in the money, but in also they're talking funny in terms of giving you a greater role. And you're like, it's time to move on. Imagine you're in that moment. What will make you, a report comes out after you do a Monday show, not show up for work on Tuesday? There's an old saying that I created. It's called, when things end good, you say goodbye, right? When you're leaving the show and things are all good, we say goodbye. That ceremonial show, and everybody, bring a cake and confetti falls, and we're going to miss you. And we have the lead up, and we know it's coming, and Molly's last show appearance, and the countdown ticker and all that. When it's good, we say goodbye. But when it's bad, we don't even say bye. And that's what happened with Molly. She didn't even say bye. Peace. In the middle of the night, right? Woke up the next morning, hit the Instagram, and said, see you when I see you. Now, that's going to lead us back to what happened, and I'm going to let Molly take the lead on that, and we're going to certainly fill in those blanks. But something, not only just in money and role and responsibility, fulfillment, like deep, like, am I doing what I can do? Am I doing what I want to do? Or am I just sitting here trying to make sure I glue his predicate with his subject of his next sentence? And meanwhile, nobody cares what I'm really up to. That job right there, people are not long for, right? Just imagine the lack of respect, the lack of people giving you opportunities to flourish, to blossom, to do more. They just put you in that little pigeonhole, say, no, keep the show going and everything else. Keep it to yourself. Really thankless job. No matter what Molly will say, no matter what they say in that role, there's a reason why. It's like a running back in the NFL. Chew them up, spit them out. That's that role right there. Shout out to her and respect for lasting this long, because I didn't think she would go that far. Where it seems on the surface, based by design, based by the show structure, your opinion does not matter. Simple as that. So that's the why. We're going to get deeper into the what happened as things start to unveil. So let me know, beat it up in the comments, what you think about this. I'm not surprised. I'm only surprised at the timing. I'm surprised that she didn't just tap out over the weekend and they make no mention of it, and they land that plane a lot softer than they did. This was an abrupt landing. This is an emergency exit. This is an emergency landing. This is one of those for a reason. I give you what a therapist told me. Therapist told me it's not just how things end, it's why are they ending that way, right? So we know how it ended. Contract negotiation is a wrap. Why? Why did Molly want to go out in a blaze. Coming to work Monday, and then I ain't coming to work no more. And y'all figure it out. Stephen A. abruptly has to host a show for the whole week. Why did it end like that? That's usually an inner cry of like, yo, I want to be noticed. I want y'all to know. I want y'all to feel me. I want y'all to hear me. I want y'all to see me. See how I go out, right? With a bang. She went out with a bang for a reason. We're going to find out how big that bang is going forward. So now, you know.
Very sensible take. Very sensible take. I said, like, going into it, he says some things that have just kind of been a bit off ever since he's done like the Marcellus Wiley kind of thing and stuff like that. But this is on point. It's a sensible take. Like I said, it was great perspective of someone who's been over there on those network debate shows and things of that sort. Salute to Marcellus Wiley. That was good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Moving on from one thing to another, from one controversy to another. We've got Damon Dash, Dame Dash, who was on The Breakfast Club yesterday. Boy, it went viral as soon as it went viral, man. As soon as it touched down. Crazy interview, another crazy interview with Dame Dash. Pretty much it turned out to be like Dame Dash just calling Charlemagne gay, and Charlemagne responded with, "If I'm gay, then you're broke." And he said, "I never cared about being broke." And he said, yes, you do. It affects you when I call you broke. I can see it in your face and your teeth fake. He said, yeah, I got new teeth. He said, so what? So they went back and forth. He was like, Charlemagne, you're not a real man. And he said, look at my OG. He brought his OG on to talk, and he dropped some real wisdom. And he said, y'all need him on the show because he's a real man, unlike you and DJ Envy. And he said, bro, now why you got to say that? Why your broke self got to get on this mic and keep talking? It was just funny. And then he said Wendy Williams is your OG. Oh my gosh. So it was pretty much an hour of that. And then he said he came on to say that 50 Cent didn't buy the rights to Paid in Full because 50 Cent and Cameron are starting up the new series Paid in Full and stuff like that based off the movie Paid in Full. A thing that Dame Dash just previously said he owned the rights to and things of that sort. And so he was pretty much just saying 50 Cent lying. He was lying about the Puff documentary. He's lying about this. He ain't going to do none of it and everything like that. And then 50 Cent came back on Instagram and said, how am I lying? Cameron responded as well, but he responded over some music, so I'm not going to react to what he said. And then he said Claudia Jordan owes him money. So Claudia Jordan uploaded a video that was staying 7.5 minutes just to respond to Dame Dash.
Guys, I'm out here.
She said about Dame Dash, said that he lied on her and she owes him
playing in this golf tournament, and my phone is blowing up with notifications that Dame Dash once again has my name in.
I've interviewed Claudia Jordan a long time ago, and I never posted the interview. Shout out to Claudia Jordan. She's a nice person.
His mouth when he should be having.
Shout out Ricky Smiley. Shout out Head Crack.
Polident, tight grip in his mouth, instead holding those cheap ass dentures in place instead of worrying about me. Why do you keep trying to bring me into your mess? You've been sued by everybody. You've lost every single lawsuit, and you owe the government all this money, yet you keep trying to bring me into your bullshit. I have been quiet. On the set of Dear Frank, you were wildly inappropriate. You did shit on that set that should have shut it down, okay? Very inappropriate, the way you were carrying on with the women on set, and what you did to me during the one scene was fucked up. I've not embarrassed you yet because everybody else has done that job for me, and including yourself. Dang. But if you want to keep running your mouth, then I'm going to tell my side.
Oh my God.
You was a fucking pervert on set.
Oh
you were
my
disgusting.
gosh.
The things you did.
Gosh, dang, she. Boo, 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 boo. I was not ready for this. I should have known it was 7.5 minutes, 7 minutes and 15. Gosh, Lee. Dang.
Porn tape and what you tried to do to get me ready for a scene with you while your shunt was showing out of your chest and you thought you was hot. You were not. You were a fat fucking mess. And yes, I understand you see me everywhere, so and you're nowhere except pretending to own ranches that you don't own and borrowing money from people. And you see people that are just flourishing without you. And like you do with Jay-Z, you're just sitting there jealous of everybody else, counting everybody else's money. So now you want to include me in your lawsuit. Nigga, bring it on. You lost every other suit that my lawyer, Chris Brown, has gone up against you against. You've lost everything. You don't pay rent. You fuck up with all the contracts. You've been sued by everybody and lost because you steal property from people. You found guilty of that, okay? from women.
Dang.
You rent expensive homes to give the image of you being wealthy,
Dang.
and then you default and don't pay your rent.
Dang.
And you've been sued by them, and you've lost those cases too. So why is my name in your mouth?
Dang.
I didn't want my body in your mouth. I sure don't want my name in your mouth. So keep all of us out of your mouth and out of your thoughts. Okay? I'm so sick and tired of your shit. You are the reason for your failure.
Dang.
And Dame, you talk so much shit about people being culture vultures, stealing from the culture and not down with black people, and they working for the white man. All while you parade a woman around that is a white woman, and you pretend to be that she's Puerto Rican, that you think, oh, it's different, right, with me. And you talk so much shit about everybody else. Not that there's anything wrong with dating a white woman or a Puerto Rican woman, but you go out of your way to pretend that she's not what she is, okay? In my opinion. And I think that's super whack, but that just shows your character. Your character. Your own family don't fuck with you because of what you do and how you behave. You know, I felt bad for you when we were filming because I was like, damn, maybe he got a raw deal. Maybe like, he is this victim that he claims to be. But I see now from working with you one time and never again, that all your failures are it's your own doing. You caused all of the bad shit that has happened to you. You're not a victim. Your ego in your mouth. You still think it's 2003 and it's the big pimping video where you can spray liquor on women and like it's cute. It was never cute. It never gave cute. So you can continue on your little tour and enjoy the attention. And, people that don't really know and haven't been paying attention to you will be like, oh, man, he's smart, man. And the system did him wrong. You're not. You are struggling with that interview. Charlamagne was running circles around you. You went in there so fake. Oh, I don't fool with men. That's why I don't go anywhere with men. And then Charlamagne quickly checked you and said, you came in here with a man. That is a perfect summation of how fucking fake and whack you are, how much of a liar you are. So keep my name out of your mouth. I worked on a movie that you were given a vanity credit for as director. You gave some input here and there, but Josh Weber was the actual director giving us real direction while you were smoking weed, talking so much shit. Not that there's anything wrong with smoking weed, because I smoke too, but you want to be the director. You didn't want to sign your paperwork, okay? And you were very unprofessional on set. And the one scene that we had where I had to cry about how you treated me and what you did, and you was wilding and out of control. You was highly inappropriate. Did we get past that and did I get over it? Yes, that's why I didn't see you over it. But it's a note to self. You a fuckboy. It cut me after the best part. Damn, you are a fuckboy. That's why people don't fuck with you. You're a fuckboy. You sit there and talk big game. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. When you have to tell everybody how much.
No, sorry, gosh, Lee, I ain't gonna lie. This might be the read of the century. This might be the best one since Buddy from TikTok got Buddy fired from the military. Y'all remember that one? Oh my God.
The boss you are, you're not. We have to tell everybody how great you are. You're not.
Oh my God.
We have to tell everybody how amazing you are. You're not.
I ain't gonna lie. I would cry, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm crying in the car. What is you talking about? Claudia Jordan? If Claudia Jordan get on the internet and talk about like me like this on the internet after Charlamagne called me broke and said I need to start a record label called Dep Jam and I'm Dep Dash, brother, I'm crying, bro.
You're not. And I'm sorry for you. You were on a trajectory to be in big places and big spaces, but you fucked up with your mouth and your arrogant, annoying attitude. All right. I don't know why you think everyone's done you wrong. Are you not guilty in any of this? Like you've done nothing wrong to put yourself in position. The way you move, like I got to see firsthand, and you didn't put one penny up for that movie for Dear Frank. It was called The List at first, and you try to go sell it behind our backs. You didn't own it, Dame. You didn't own it. Get over it. Move on and shut the fuck up. Keep thinking about more things. You have so many lawsuits where you've been found guilty of defamation. And I didn't jump on that bandwagon. I could have because you was out there dragging my name. I'm like, what did I do to you besides say no?
You getting punked by Claudia Jordan is crazy. You getting punked by a baddie? Huh? Baddies? I was like,
What did I do to you for not want to spend the night at your house after filming? What did I do to you? Nothing. Nothing. I did not think you needed to be part of the project. I didn't think your name brought any value, but it was a means to an end to get Kanye West involved in the project. That's all. The only reason you were given a vanity credit, Dame. I was there from day one with the producer before you even brought on. And you're mad that I testified about the truth on the stand? I gave sworn testimony. It was all true. And if I didn't, you could have tried to get me for perjury. You did not. Like I tell motherfuckers that have problems with me, if I defamed you or lied on you, file a lawsuit, bitch. File a lawsuit. Because I stand by what I say, because I don't lie, because I have a bad memory, so I have to tell the truth. Someone just sent me the clip where Dame Dash says on the Breakfast Club that he has video of me saying that he is the best director ever.
Dang. Oh my God.
Someone just sent me the clip where Dame Dash says on the Breakfast Club that he has video of me saying that he is the best director ever. Really? Really? Dame Dash, I have a proposition for you. I know money's tight. And I'm not rich either. I'm just trying to make it out here in this world. If you can produce the video of me saying that you're the best director I've ever worked with,
oh my gosh,
I will pay for your teeth to get fixed.
Oh my goodness.
That's an offer you can't refuse, right?
Oh my goodness.
If you can find said video of me telling you,
I didn't know Claudia get down like this. I know Claudia did, radio for so years on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I didn't know she could. Man, she got the gift of gab for real, bro. Bro, she went. Man, this is impressive.
I've ever worked with. I'm gonna fix your mouth up, and they'll never slip out again.
I don't know if I have that Claudia Jordan interview, but if I do, I'm uploading it, bro. That one and the Jason Lee joint. 2 interviews I never just uploaded, bro. Goodness gracious. I'm not gonna lie. That was fire. Hey, round of applause for Claudia Jordan. This ain't me taking sides or anything in the beef. This is just me saying Claudia Jordan and her part, she did amazing, bro. And to have Lauren LaRosa come up afterwards, who was in the interview, and say, I just reached out to Revolt TV and they confirmed that Dame Dash, in fact, is not the new chairman of the network, is insane. They calling you on your bluff, bro. The people that you said that you bragging about say this, check my receipts, is saying he lying. That's crazy. Charlamagne told that he's already called it Dep Jam. Nothing that beats a Dep 2 holiday. Nothing beats a Dep 2 holiday. Oh my gosh. All right. Next. So I seen this post on Facebook, right? Hold on. Let me see if I could show myself on the screen a little bit. Let me go back. I seen this post on Facebook that was talking about what you taking off this plate, y'all. And I noticed it, right? I said, I know this plate from anywhere, bro. They said, what you taking off this plate? Joker, I know what this is. I know that. I said, man, I should take me a test to just see all the little restaurants I know off top just from the look. And so I looked it up. I said, I know it exists somewhere on the internet. And was I right? So with that being said, I'm going to take a little break from talking about the news right now to take this little fast food test of guess that plate. And more in particular, fried chicken, fast food chicken. Now, I don't even eat chicken. So before you get off your, your little black jokes, I don't even eat chicken. But here's a fast food chicken test. Can you identify the restaurant chain based on the chicken it serves? Yes. All right. We got 12 questions. Here we go. We're going to start off with number 1. Oh, okay. Here's this McDonald's. All right. Next. This looks like it could be Chick-fil-A. This looks like it could be Chick-fil-A, but it could also be McDonald's. I'm going to just say Chick-fil-A. I don't know how you spell Chick-fil-A, like with the, how they do the things. How you spell Chick-fil-A? Is it like with dashes? Okay, you spell it with, dashes, and then it's a K. I'm going to say Chick. There we go. Okay. This look like Checkers. This ain't Checkers? What is this? This ain't Checkers. This Whataburger? What? Burger. I honestly do not know. This one is something I just don't know. I'm gonna have to go next. This is because the strips is different. Is this Popeyes? Popeyes. Yep. This is it's look like KFC. KFC. This ain't KFC popcorn chicken? What this is? This isn't. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I'm gonna skip. Crystals. Yep. Taco Bell. Yep. Subway. Or Quiznos. Yep. Dang. This look like a club. I do not know. I'm not gonna lie. Arby's. This ain't Arby's? Is this Wendy's? This definitely ain't no Wendy's, bro. It's Wendy's. Wow. Is this Arby's? Arby's. Yep. KFC. They gave that one away. Are these all the ones that I skipped? Yeah, these are all the ones that I skipped. Okay, what is this? What is this? This looks like bro, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I do not know. I already said McDonald's, excuse me. It's a Burger King. Yo, Burger King for these? Bruh. All right. We got 3 minutes for these two, bruh. Bruh, I have no idea what this is. My bad. Whataburger? Nope. What's the Denny's? Not Denny's, Hardee's. It ain't Hardee's? What's this, bro? It looked like KFC popcorn chicken. Captain D's. Does Captain D's even have chicken? Nope. Who has popcorn chicken, bro? Who has popcorn chicken? This I do not know. I'm stumped. And it's not Checkers, because Checkers will be the let me check Checkers on this one. Checkers. Nope. Quiznos. How you spell Quiznos? Quiznos. I spelled it right, just ain't it. Panera Bread. Nope. It's not McAllister's, but I'll put McAllister's anyway. McAllister's. Nope. It's not Chipotle. Nope. What is this, bro? What is this? It's not Wendy's. It's not Checkers. It's not Arby's. Even though we already had an Arby's. It's not Taco Bell. It's not KFC. It's not McDonald's. What is it then? I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just don't know that one. Is it Sonic? It might be Sonic. Sonic. It was Sonic. One more. Sonic. Dang. Who else we got? Sonic. We got 20 seconds, bro. Can I beat the buzzer? Dang, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know no grilled chicken sandwich. Who got a grilled chicken sandwich? I ain't gonna lie. Is he Sonic? What is it? 3, 2, 1. I can't think of it right now. Jack in the Box. I wasn't gonna get that. I wasn't gonna get Jack in the Box. There's no chance. All right. Well, I got 92%. Outstanding in your field, man. There it is, bro. Hey, bro. Bro. Come on, man. I do this eating stuff for real, bro. I'm a real eater, bro. I'm not like these. Oh, I'm an eater. I'm a foodie. I'm a real eater, bro. I don't even eat fried chicken, and I know. Come on, bro. Sweetie. On to Sweetie now. Sweetie, she was talking about her pretty face is the only thing holding her back from success in music because she's consistently receiving pretty punishment. She said pretty punishment, like she was like being pretty helped her in her career coming up, but now it's held her back because it's like, oh, she pretty. So she was like, a lot of people talk about pretty privilege, but people don't talk about pretty punishment. So Sweetie herself went on. She said, I dropped an interview and get a rise out of ladies. For what? Because of a misinterpreted clickbait headlines. I'm very successful. Glory to God. However, on the other hand, I've been counted out and I've dealt with a lot of microaggressions. Enough talking, though. I would love to break this down with the right interviewer. I'm not going to lie, Sweetie, bro. Being pretty don't hold you back if the music is good enough, bro. If the music is good enough, dog, you're going to cut through. It's a lot of pretty women who have been successful and stuff like that. And there's a lot of pretty women who had a moment, a couple hits, a little error, 2-3 hits and stuff like that. And they still trying to get back. Like Carrie Hilson's still trying to get back in. The reason why Carrie Hilson is still trying to get back in and kind of struggling or whatever, you know, she just dropped the album over the summer. It's not because she's pretty, bro. I can assure you that, man. So, like, it's an accountability thing, dog. But, like, I understand it as a creative. Like, if you had a following and then your following for said music or said thing, like, slows down, like, you kind of like, dang, it's got to be a reason for this. What's the reason? You know, I remember A.G. Chite, he said Kendrick asked you 3 questions when you work with him. He said, you want to make music for your area, for your region, or for the world? And then he said, what's holding you back from being the superstar and being honest with yourself? So it's like asking that question, what is holding me back from being a superstar? Sometimes it's not in your control, bro. Sometimes it just won't. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. So I feel like sometimes there is no answer for stuff. Because it's like, say someone's saying your music's not good enough. Well, it was good enough for me to get on and get a platform and become famous, right? Well, why is that same music, that same simple, basic, kind of repetitive, catchy melody, why is that not catching fire like it used to? Maybe people are tired of it. Or maybe it just like you make a lot of catchy, simple melody songs and one of them caught on and the rest of them did it. Maybe, I don't know, bro. But I mean, Best Friend caught on, and that was after My Type, you know what I mean? So you're not a one-hit wonder. You have Best Friend too. If you did more than sample beats, I fear you can be bigger than what you are. These girls love a girl's girl. Spread that narrative. Hence the reason I need a proper interview to dive into the topic. I'm very proud of. I need some inspo and pressure. Sorry for the trigger the masses by existing wrong. Unfortunately for y'all, I'm going to keep on because I have a vision. You've been counted out because your level of talent compared to the others in the same field. You have a couple of bops, but your music and performance level gives elementary school. Yikes. Aspiring hip-hop artist at best. But you're accepted because of your privilege, respectfully. That's kind of messed up. Ice Spice literally exists. She's literally cut from the same cloth. That's literally what I mean. Respectfully, there are artists with elementary endeavors that don't get chastised. Hagrid. If the root will be colorism because your answers on the topic comes from a level of privilege still, I believe having a dark-skinned woman journalist in the conversation would be paramount. Lauren LaRosa would be dope. And what did she say? Respect, negative, my answers here come from from being a human. Oh, wow. So she just wrote off like light-skinned privilege. That's crazy. Like, see, this is why men should mind their business. Because what does colorism have to do with this woman saying a male-dominated industry doesn't take her seriously and twisted her words? I'm with Sweetie on this one. I'm not sure why they want to humble you so bad, sis. It's kind of weird, though. Just know that you can't please them all. I feel you. JUCO athletes build different to advertisement. Oh, let me see. Advertisement. Confirmed bias psychology. No debate. Already had their mind made up. As a pretty woman, not gonna lie, I've gotten singled out a lot in my life. People will hate you immediately and start one-sided competition so quick. I haven't watched the interview though. I'm just saying. I want to say this. Aaliyah, shout out to Aaliyah from a secret place and everything like that. Her channel is amazing. Go subscribe. She does Bible study every Saturday. One time she said something that I'm pretty sure I said this before, but like a couple things she said just stuck with me for a long time. And one time she said that insecurity is a sign of self-centeredness, because being self-conscious is like when you walk into a gym, for example, it's like, oh, I wonder if they're going to judge my form. I wonder if they're going to look at me like, and it's like people aren't studying you. Like, being insecure, being self-conscious in public, or about how people perceive you, or like people count me out, people don't believe in me, people don't this and that. It comes from a place of thinking about yourself first and the world and how it operates around you. And I feel like this is an example of it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. You have to be self-centered a bit to be an artist, to be like, you know, I have a whole team working for me, and it's all about the Saweetie show and the Saweetie empire, and this is why Saweetie is over there. Mind you, I've seen stuff with Saweetie where Saweetie looks like the coolest, nicest, down-to-earth person. She done some stuff with my boy over at Respect Media TV and stuff like that. Respect Music TV. Shouts out to my brother Mike out there in LA, South Carolina native and stuff like that, where he threw out the microphone to her and she gave him an interview through like barricades with a bunch of fans. With she did the whole interview. And for that, I was like, yo, Saweetie good with me. She seems like a cool person, everything like that. A humble person and stuff. At the same time, this victim mentality, or this thing of like, yo, the industry on me because I'm pretty, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy work. And I know, you know what I'm saying? I know folks with the same stuff. And this ain't just with one person. So before, you know what I mean, my people hit me up and Rashad, you talking about me again, you subbing me again. This ain't about just one person. It's multiple people where I've heard the same thing, bro. And I say with it, bro, it comes from a place of self-centeredness, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. The world don't revolve around you. You know, I understand you can share like your frustrations with the industry, because you got to think like Saweetie is like been propped up as an object, especially like with dating Quavo and all the drama that came around that of like, was that the reason him and Offset fell out? Was this the reason that this and that? You know what I mean? So 100%, like I understand Saweetie's frustration, and I'm trying to be taken seriously as an artist, and people just look at me like as a pretty girl and this and that. I get that. At the same time, bro, if you put out some bangers and this and that, or like regardless, if you was undeniable with your talent, like you're with your music, forget talent. I'm sorry. Talent is disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Because you got this far. But with your music, the music speak louder, bro. It's like in basketball, it's like in sports, right? If you don't perform well in sports, people gonna say, oh, this and that. They're gonna create narratives all around the team. The team don't like each other. You go out there, you play well on the court, and the team wins on the court. All the narratives go away. All the narratives for Trae Young, all the narratives for Zion Williamson, all the narratives with Luka Doncic, all that goes out the way. Them boys won the championship. John Morant, all the narratives go out the window if he wins the championship. Winning cures all. And that's the same thing in music. Saweetie, you come up with a year like Glorilla had, where people said she fell off. Kai Cenat said, nah, this ain't it, Glow. Buddy said, yo, you've been replaced by Sexy Red. Your position in hip hop's been replaced by Sexy Red, everything like that. We don't care about you no more. What she do? She put her head down. Yeah, Glow. LeBron James danced to it. Shout out LeBron James. He got her lit again. Ever since then, everything that Glorilla has dropped has hit. And it's been like that for the last 2 years, bro. And so how you respond to the criticism and stuff says a lot. I remember you said, I think one time you were like, you was in a bad deal or something like that. Another time you said you was being held back by this. Now it's pretty privilege. Now it's, you know, being pretty punishment. Sis, what is it? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you drop the music, if you drop a My Type, Best Friend, and just do those, right? Times 10. Ain't no one gonna say nothing again about your pretty privilege, everything like that. If Tinashe, right? Tinashe dropped 2 on. She signs with RCA, everything like that. Oh man, Tinashe, the biggest thing in the world. And then Tinashe gets quiet for a lot of years. And you know, she dropped out of label, or no, she leaves the label, she goes independent, and then she starts complaining about she complained a little bit about Pretty Punch, if I'm not mistaken, Tinashe did. But what happened? Tinashe kept working, she kept dropping music, and then what happened? Nasty Girl, the biggest hit of her career, probably bigger than 2 on. So it was like Tinashe kept going, and eventually the music gonna speak. If the music's good enough, the music will speak for you. I promise. And so that's my message to Saweetie. Keep dropping and get some hits, bro. Get some hits. You ain't gonna have to worry about how the industry just look at you as an object and a symbol. Wait, if you're only doing this interview because you feel pressure or you have to for exposure, it may not be the right time. I think you should wait for the opportunity that fills the line and gives you space to show your real voice. And she said, girl, what I notice is the public tends to be very selective with whom they allow to speak their truth and whom they choose to shun and bully. It's honestly disgusting and unfair. I would say silence is your weapon, and while true, you should be able to speak your truth. Sending you love. And then she put the love emojis. She said, LOL, boo. Girl, focus on this instead. And this is why people have a problem with speaking their truth. I do that every day. I study, elevate, and I get better. But every time I share an experience that has affected me mentally, I get dragged. I hope you guys experience what I did tenfold. That's crazy. She says she's working on her craft and she getting better and this and that. I'm saying other artists have done. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I understood what you said, but unfortunately that topic can get a little touchy. She said touchy topics are sensitive, but it shouldn't silence those who have experiences to share. All I'm saying is, bro, she said, okay, babes, when you're a label, when you're with the label, you don't have multiple choices, stupid ladies. This is the epitome of pretty privilege, being mediocre compared to other rappers and truly believing that you're being punished by the same industry solely because of your appearance when you're only in it because of your appearance. This is the epitome of confirmation bias. I was just shedding light on how I've encountered many antagonistic scenarios because of my appearance. Imagine throwing dirt on my name and I shine like this. Hella pressure. I think as a birthday present, I want a selfie of you. Salute. Are you? Nah, I'm her cousin. And yet here you are. Dang, she responded to everybody. Projections are projecting. I think the coolest thing that I've seen Saweetie do since that's my best friend. I'm a real bad dad. She's my own girl. The best thing I seen her do was get with La Russell. And then La Russell had a rap. Because I ain't never heard a rap. Final mandatory. What is this? They talking about mandatory. I'm off the day. Hold on, I'm sorry. I had to read this. It said final notice, mandatory what? Mandatory employee acknowledgement required. Meeting with the employees. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what that means. But hold on. My bad. I ain't mean to. I'm tweaking out. But yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. I just think, bro, like, just drop hits, bro. If you drop hits, can't nobody say nothing, bro. Can't nobody say nothing. If you want to talk about what you're going through now, okay, yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you deal with that. Everybody goes through it. Mental health is real. Yes, express what you feel and stuff like that. Woochie Wobbler spoke on this. Shout out Woochie Wobbler. 380 on my waistline. Wow, my waistline. Saweetie could have made it a conversation about being a music woman in the industry, but instead she made it about being quote unquote too pretty, essentially LOL. If you think the door is shut in your face because you're pretty, what the F do you think happens to women who are considered ugly? LOL. It's so tone deaf. Shut up. Be for real. Talking about being pretty privilege, pretty punishment. Especially consider it's her looks to thank for having her anything to do in the first place. Smack in the face to the pretty girls who actually work at their craft and not trying to be a wannabe wife and girl influencer, right? Like in terms of longevity in her career, her looks play a huge part along with her many other achievements, which was mentioned in the video. Like, hello, I'm hoping she just articulated herself badly, but this could have been a way deeper conversation, which she says she wanted to have, you know what I'm saying? And things of that sort. But shout out Woochie, bro. That 380 on my waistline. That's my favorite Woochie Wobbler joint since made my heart hurt. And my heart first. It made my heart hurt. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Hey, I wanna see how the mother want taste. I just seen one night, and it's on no way. Yeah, that's one of my favorite new joints out right now. 380 on my waistline. Okay, anyway. Shout out to Jiminusi as well. She be working hard. She be grinding and stuff. I be seeing it. I be peeping. Now on to Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea. She speaks on Playboy Cardi in a new response to academics. I don't care who listens to the music or if he's the best, most successful, best-selling rapper ever. It has zero effect on my life. Truly, I'm not campaigning for anyone else's demise. At the same time, I don't think it's a huge experience that my experience involved a man who was violent and is also still an addict. Just know if I ever tell it all, it'll be a judgment court, not to social media. And here it is. Well, reality is I don't have to be a part of any Playboy Cardi narratives, but I'm also woven into them via clickbait clips because he's very popular. And the idea that there's a bitter woman trying to campaign to stop him somehow plays well in the media, especially with young men. For the record, I don't care who listens to the music or if he's the most successful best-selling rapper ever. It truly has zero effect on my life. Truly, I'm not campaigning for anyone else's demise. At the same time, I don't think it's a huge secret. I experienced involved a man who was violent and is still an addict. I'm sorry, but that's my reality, and it does affect my life years later, of course, because there's a child involved. Although I opt not to share my whole story publicly, I certainly have the right to feel so. The impact is lasting. I don't appreciate academics' attempt to paint me as some scorned lover bird brain simply because he has a relationship with the artist or artist teams and works as a mouthpiece on their behalf. If you want to bring me into a conversation, then yes, I'll expect to be in touch with you and bring facts with me. I didn't realize I was so scary you couldn't respond. Instead, you ran to the internet with a boner because you get to talk to your favorite subject again. I have to laugh. Just know if I ever tell her. All right. Shouts out to Iggy Azalea, bro. In terms of like the way she talked trash, it's crazy because like her rap career, you know, there's a lot of jokes and stuff like that. But like her ability to clap is like Claudia Jordan, bro. Like she's good at that. And I'm like, dang, why couldn't just come through a little more on the songwriting? You know what I mean? But that's side note. She one of the ones where it's like, sorry, Dr. Umar, you just gonna have to. Yes, academics, I DM'd you. 24 hours later, you had zero response because you don't want to report actual factual information or stand corrected in public forum. That's the truth. I listened to your monologue trying to paint me as some obsessed, jealous ex because you watch rage bait clips on social media instead of doing your job as a quote unquote reporter, watching interviews in full context before commenting. If you had bothered to do your job, you'd have realized it's beyond clear that I've alluded to or mentioned any famous exes. Why didn't you retract anything after watching Neon and myself in conversation and realizing your favorite rapper wasn't the subject of any conversation? In so many ways, you're a detriment to the person you're trying to help. Dang. And academics responded, and they went back and forth for a little bit. He said, whoop-de-doo. And so she responded, that's all you can say when you're wrong, I guess. The real question is, why did you want it to be about another man's behind so bad? The question to ponder. Enjoy. She said, you're an industry pass around. You go from rapper to rapper. You've done being Tory Lane's side piece too. Go to that gossip and stuff. Go to therapy. I don't give a F what that dude did to you. You bet it's crazy. Every dude who F'd you say the same stuff. Let me see what she said in response to that. 380 on my waistline. 380 on my waistline. She said, hugs and kisses, gossip girl. That's funny. When the session says more about you than the subject, she says exactly. Anyways, ... Next, grown man, by the way. And then someone said, you know, someone is going to assume you say my ex, you're an attention speaker. Firstly, I didn't. I said someone I went on a date with 10 years ago and I haven't spoken to since. How does he equate to a man that I have a child with? It's okay to be a fan of someone and try to make everything related to them, but that doesn't make it reality, my love. Bless you. It is what it is, bro. I'm genuinely torn in regard to keeping my hair naturally blonde. That's funny. You look good either way, girly. If you want to go lighter, it would be fantastic. Oh, she's talking about her hair. You're right. Smother. And any check that I get was sent in crypto. Enjoy those taxes, though. Responding generally only makes me yap more in case you haven't noticed. I'm a Gemini. Okay. Why? You can't surprise. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't do that stuff. No, keep that away from me. Well, academics say us as well. I tried to give this girl a pass. She keep telling me about the dang trauma of Playboy Cardi pumping and dumping her like a meme coin. girl, you picked a dude, not me. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy, AK. That's crazy, act. There's multiple allegations, whether deleted and wiped off the face of the internet, about this man. You know what I'm saying? Whether we like it or not. Like I said, I Am Music is my number 3 Atlanta favorite album of the year so far this year. Can't lie and say, oh, I don't listen to the music anymore because I'm above immoral high ground, things of that sort. I Am Music is hard, bro. For years, I thought that this man would never be able to top Broke Boy as a song. Evil Jordan, I feel like, rivals Broke Boy. OP and Baby rivals Broke Boy, and Light Weezy rivals Broke Boy. He putting out some amazing music, dog. I'm not gonna lie. And he, like Jid said, he creating his own genre. He not even speaking English and stuff like that. It's hard. However, there are at least 3 cases documented viral of this man on the internet allegedly being endangered to the woman that he's been involved with. There's cop footage and stuff like that with one of the women, Mob County legend Brandy. There's another one with Iggy Azalea speaking up, and it's another one with this girl from like back in the day from like New York, and it was a video of her on speakerphone, and the man was like saying some things to her and things of that sort. That video was deleted by the time I went up on live the next night or the night of to talk about it and to react to it. The video was deleted off the face of the internet. There is something with this dude, bro. The music is amazing. He's from Atlanta. Shout out to everybody from the city and stuff like that. From my hometown, Broke Boy got me through so many times, bro. Like, it's one of my favorite songs ever. If any genre, anything in music, it's Broke Boy, bro. Like, it's an addicting song. Like, Playboy Cardi, you got my respect as an artist, hands down. But as a man, bro, these allegations look crazy, dude. And it's not just, I don't know. I feel like I can give you the benefit of the doubt if it's just one person or one time. Okay, I got out of character one time, this and that. But when it's multiple women over multiple cases over multiple years, I feel like you got to start looking at it. Side note. Moving on now. Ziwe has met Eric Adams. Shout out to Ziwe. One of the people I really looked up to and things of that sort, even though like she just popped in the pandemic and I was already like well into my career. Ziwe is one of the people I look up to. And this is her meeting Eric Adams on a walk. Look at this dog. This dog is beautiful, bro. Sensational.
Lord.
He hates rats.
So he and I have something in common. And I love dogs.
Oh, how beautiful. I love that.
Yes. They tell me you're a big time influencer.
Yes, an influencer. Sure, yeah, I'm an interviewer who would love to have a chance to talk.
Let's do that.
He don't know what he got himself into. He don't know what he got himself into, bro. He don't know what he got himself into. He just blindly accepted the interview. Ziwe about to tear him up, bro. Oh my goodness. He don't know what he got himself into, man. Like I said, shouts out to Ziwe, man. She one of the best doing this, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, especially in the political realm. I don't know. She's just so funny and so smart, intelligent. Ziwe is Ziwe, dog. I don't know if she has an email or anything like that I could reach out to. I'd love to interview Ziwe. But she be doing that thing where she disappear from the internet and the public eye too and pop up with an interview like once every 3 months, like once a quarter. And you know what I'm saying? Man, but if there's an email or anything like that to reach out to Ziwe, I want to reach out to Ziwe and bring Ziwe on for an interview. Because that's one of my inspirations, bro. Like, she one of my inspirations with her interviews and the way she does stuff and the way she, like, intertwines entertainment and makes an interview like an event and something. Oh, this is so cool. This is that. And I learned something because you're so smart. Like, I don't know. I look up to people like her.
I love that.
The team is going to make it happen.
Okay, perfect.
And so here is a dog that's just like me. We hate rats. And we're going to make sure they're packing.
Exactly. And we love trash bins.
Okay, love it.
Ah, she already. Look. She already. Look. Eric Adams said, what type of interview is she? Look at what she said.
Trash bins.
Okay.
Look at his face. He said, oh, that's what we doing. We throwing shots already. Look at Ziwe face.
Love it.
He wants to be free.
Oh,
Perfect.
man. Real
Nice to
pleasure.
meet you.
Good to see
Yes.
you. Okay.
Ziwe, what's your opinion on the mayor?
She said, "Wow, okay, we're right into it."
What an icon.
Ziwe, you the GOAT, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't care if I'm glazing. Oh, Rashad, you glazing, you glazing, you glazing. Let me glaze. I'm talking about. Give people they flower right against mine. I'm talking about. All right, anyways, the next thing is Ziwe gonna tear Eric Adams up if they sit down for an interview. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Free Ben and Jerry's. Ben Cohen. After 47 years, Jerry's made the difficult decision to step down from the company we built together. I'm sharing his words as he resigns from Ben and Jerry's. His legacy deserves to be true to our values, not silence. I ain't gonna lie. Ben and Jerry's cost more money than a lot of other non-dairy ice cream and just ice cream in general. There'll be certain times where I get Ben and Jerry's just because I rock with their messages, bro. They be like, Black Lives Matter, Colin Kaepernick flavor, this and that, everything. Like when everybody else turned their back against people on certain things and topics, they still speak out about what's right and what's wrong, and then they donate a lot of their stuff to causes and stuff. I'll go out my way and pay more money to get Ben and Jerry's just because I rock with them so much. So this is important that he made the announcement. Free Ben and Jerry's, 100%. Shouts out to Jerry. Shouts out to Ben. Here we go. To the Ben and Jerry's community, it's with a broken heart that I decided I can no longer, in good conscience, after 47 years, remain an employee of Ben and Jerry's. I'm resigning from the company Ben and I started back in 1978. This is one of the hardest and most painful decisions I've ever made. This isn't because I've lost my love for the people at Ben and Jerry's. Quite the opposite. The folks who show up every day in our factories, scoop shops, and offices are some of the most passionate, caring, and values-driven people you'll ever meet. They are the soul of Ben and Jerry's. What made the work so important to me, what allowed the company to be more than just an ice cream company, was the independence to pursue our values, which was guaranteed when Unilever bought the company. For more than 20 years under their ownership, Ben and Jerry stood up and spoke out about peace, justice, and human rights, not just as abstract concepts, but in relation to the real events happening in our world. That independence existed in no small part because of the unique merger agreement between Ben and I negotiated with on a lever, one that enshrined our social mission and values in the company's governance to the structure and perpetuity. There it is. It is profoundly disappointed to come to the conclusion that the independence, the very bias of our cell to unaliver, is gone. And it's happening at a time in our country's current administration attacking the civil rights, voting rights, the rights of immigrants, women, and LGBTQ community, standing up to values and justice, equity, and our shared humanity has never been more important. And yet Ben and Jerry's has been sidelined for the fear of upsetting those in power. It's easy to stand up and speak out when there's nothing at risk. The real test of values is when times are challenging and you have something to lose. Love, equity, and justice, they're a part of Ben and I, who Ben and I are, and they've always been true to the foundation of Ben and Jerry's. From the very beginning, Ben and I believed that our values and the pursuit of justice was more important than the company itself. If the company couldn't stand up for those things that we believe, then it wasn't worth being a company at all. It's always more than about just ice cream. It was about the way to spread love and invite others in our fight for equity, justice, and a better world. Coming to the conclusion that this is no longer possible at Ben and Jerry means that I can no longer remain a part of Ben and Jerry's. If I can't carry those values inside the company today, then I would carry them from the outside with all love and conviction that I can. With love, Jerry. 10 out of 10. 8, no crumbs, man. Tell us what we got to do, Ben. If we need to stop buying the Ben and Jerry's, we'll stop buying the Ben and Jerry's, bro. I ain't buy ice cream in a minute anyway, bro. I've been trying to be on this healthy journey thing to that store, but we ain't doing that. Here's a silly thing. She said my daughter's hair looks fine. This is Sharon Davies, an Olympian and stuff like that. Woman traveling to get Afro hair care due to lack of salons. She had to travel hours for this. She said race baiting BBC. I have a mixed race daughter. She never found it hard to get an African-American hair appointment. When the ONS says 4% of UK is ethnicity black, surely like every other business, there has to be supply and demand for a business to be successful. So that's what she said, right? She speaks out about a lot of things, including like trans people in sports. Y'all know how I feel about that conversation. I think it's stupid because I just don't think there's enough women. I just don't think there's enough trans women in sports for it to be an issue. All right, we gotta, but let the, all right, bro. All right, bro. Okay. All right, bro. See, all right. I'm gonna keep that offline. I'm gonna keep that offline. What I just read. I'm gonna keep that offline. What I just read. But that was kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's kind of crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's kind of crazy, my boy. But we gonna keep that offline. We gonna keep that offline, bro. See, this is the thing about going live every day. You get moments like that where you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sorry, I got my mic. Pause. Shout out Blue Mike. My sisters find it very hard to get Afro hair appointments, and we live in London. This isn't race baiting, it's reporting. And then she said, Albie, there are many black hair salons in London, probably more than any UK city. However, my point is one of the most simple, basic business economics. All shop need enough customers to make a profit. That applies to everyone equally, regardless of color, and all businesses. It is also on the black community to provide what is undoubtedly a required service. That being said, no one is stopping anyone from operating a hairdressing business. In fact, I suggest it's only one of the few businesses that's able to be extremely mobile, so even more doable. If either way a business is more money, sir, it will exist. All of the businesses are supply and demand. Hairdressing is commercial enterprise, not a social service. She keeps saying this. She's saying there's not enough demand for the supply to have the supply, but she's also saying there's more than enough hair salons in London, black hair salons. First of all, you ain't black, so how you gonna speak on like black issues? Stay out of black folks' business. That's the first thing, right? Second thing, which one is it? You're flip-flopping on each tweet. Both tweets, you're flip-flopping. Stay out of black folks' business. She said, yes, there are. It doesn't make it hard to find a good one. Have you seen the state of them? It's horrendous. Often they were braided too tight, which leads to baldness and receding hairlines. Yes, I agree. No one is calling for state subsidize a black hairline salons. Simply highlighting that they can be difficult to find. This is not race baiting. I wouldn't waste my time trying to educate her. She's ignorant and is trying to use an article to score political points for a race baiting agenda. She's not ignorant. I'm a big fan. In this instance, I think she's simply misused the phrase race bait. Albie, we were on your side. Looks like everyone agrees she is, mate. The irony of her fighting for women's rights and somehow misconstrues and misinterprets that the article was highlighted. No, sorry, I don't buy it. Her unwarranted views don't wash with me. She's ignorant. But I see you're a right-wing gay, so of course you're a fan, ... weirdo. See, now you ain't have to call him a weirdo. You don't have to. See? Oh, man, you know what I mean? Okay, let me see. She said, oh, she ain't respond to these. How you not respond to the multiple pictures of your daughter looking crazy, bro? She said, my daughter never had a problem with no hair appointment. Is you serious? And I know. It's ironic coming from you right now because I need to take out my twist. It's time for to take out my twist. I get it. It's ironic coming from me. At the same time, bro, this is ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous, bro. Sigh, my dear, please. I was already in a rotten mood from the first tweet I saw. I had to Google that the daughter that she's trying to justify to delegitimize the experiences of black women in UK. The same UK that appeared to HBIA standards and regulations to include Afro hair in 2021. This is the hairstyle that ladies in every Tyler Perry move when they lost everything. I blame the black men who decide to procreate with someone who has no clue how to care for a black child. Then they'll have the nerve to resent the mother of their child's hair not being done. I've seen it happen with members of my own family. It's sad. Sometimes you can really tell when a mixed person has a black mother or a white mother or a black father or a white father. Okay. Got him. YouTube has been around for 2 decades. There's absolutely no reason a child should walk around with her hair like that. Her hair is in a terrible stage, I guess. Is this really her daughter? Yes. The Afro hair appointment. That's crazy. She looks like she's in rehab. I find it so funny how she could have avoided this by keeping her nose out of black business. Man, what Afro hair appointment? I could not have imagined it being this bad. It sucks when black people have racist parents who do not care for them and learning about them in order to care for them properly. This has to be a joke. OMG, lady, if you don't get this girl hair done, we the people calling on you. The girl 27 now. I looked her up after this because I was like, who is this woman? She's 27 now. I know people have told her, like, bro, you look a mess. Does she just take it as like, oh, you hating? Like, how's she take it? Her name is Grace Elizabeth Redmond. We're going to look her up. Grace Elizabeth Redmond. Because I know she's seen this. It went viral. You see everything about you. Like, especially if it has more than 100, you know what I'm saying, retweets or likes, your friend's gonna send it to you, bro. Is this her right here? Nah, this a whole nother girl. But yeah. This is her right here, bro. Just crazy, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. This looks insane, dude. This looks insane, bro. It's the only time in her life that the hair looked nice. But yeah, it's sad, dude. Like, cause even this, people are like, it was a bad hair day. Look at this. Look at this. Where are the baby hairs? Where's the, you know what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. It look crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It look crazy, gang. This is crazy, bro. Man, what? That's crazy, bro. Hair damage. All that stuff, like that stuff is real, bro. The health of your hair. The comment saying you did that baby hair wrong. They pulled out the receipts. I hope your ice cream always melts fast. I pray every parasitic draw on all your videos, every itch. Okay, all right. Oh, do you live in Carl? When I was a flight attendant, I would get my hair done when I was in London because it was too difficult to find someone who would do my hair in Bishop Sharper at the time. Same way when I moved to Kent in 2008, I would just go to London to get my hair done. Great hair is sadly not a human right. One of my daughters has incurably curly hair, and that spends a fortune on her hair. No one gets subsidized hair. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Sis, sit this one out like completely. You have a mixed race daughter. How awful your relationship is with your father to have felt the need to lash out like this. You hate your daughter and clearly out of tone. The BBC tackling the issues on the daily. This is the real hair of her mixed child. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, anyways, we're going to move on to the next scene. Bro. No, someone said this. She hates this girl. If a black kid showed up like this so many times to school, CPS were called on black parents, immediately having them unkept. They would say it's child neglect and child abuse. Facts. I ain't gonna lie to you. Here's a full picture from the carpet. What's the point of this? Did they just want to show it? The mother needs to bust her head wide open and give her life to God. Maybe it's the style she likes. Don't play with me. I'm blocking you. This should be considered even in the event that it's a damage pro. What the heck is that even about? I'm all for natural styles, but it's not even style. She just woke up and got dressed. It's not AI. No, it's a red carpet event. I don't understand this post. Maybe I'm ignorant about hair, but I'm with you. Yeah, no, it's bad, bro. It's bad. She's a beautiful girl. Like, even with her hair not done, she's beautiful. Her mother is a hater. This poor child, look at her smile in her eyes. I said the same thing. Yeah, but the girl is apparently 27 years old. So I don't know. Maybe this is the viral moment that gets your hair right. I hope it is. But yeah, like, because they bullied RG3 into getting his hairline right. I remember that. New York judge charges out terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, and he has an unaliving count. It still stands. It's from the AP. Michael R. Shizak and Dave Collins, a New York judge on Tuesday. There was a bunch of women, by the way, that was like, we here for Luigi. And they was baddies too. I was like, dang, that's crazy, bro. New York judge on Tuesday threw out the terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, rejecting the Manhattan District Attorney's theory and state unaliving case of the unaliving of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was, quote unquote, intended to evoke terror. Judge Gregory Caro kept the other charges in place, including a second-degree unaliving count that requires prosecutors to prove Mangione intended to unalive Thompson, but not that he was doing it as some sort of act of terrorism. The ruling eliminated the top two charges in Mangione's state case, sparing him of the possibility of a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. The 27-year-old Ivy League graduate is also facing a parallel federal death penalty prosecution. Carroll says the defense argument was that the dueling prosecutors accounted to double jeopardy was premature. Mangione, a cause celebre for people upset with the healthcare insurance industry, appeared to be in good spirits and raised his eyebrows at supporters as police officers let him out of the brief hearing after Carroll issued his ruling. In a written decision, the judge said that although there isn't a doubt that Thompson's unaliving last December was no ordinary street crime. Excuse me. State law in New York doesn't consider something terrorism simply because it was motivated by ideology. While the defendant was clearly expressing an animus toward UHC, the healthcare industry generally, it does not follow that his goal was to intimidate or coerce civilian population, and indeed there was no evidence presented of such a goal, Curl wrote. The judge also said that there was insufficient evidence that Mangione intended to influence or affect any government policy by intimidation or corrosion. Another element of terrorism charges, he noted that the federal prosecutors hadn't charged Mangione with terrorism offenses, even though the federal terrorism statute was a model of the state law. But in keeping the second-degree unaliving charge, Carroll ruled that there was sufficient evidence that Mangione, quote-unquote, unalived Brian Thompson in premeditated and calculated execution. That charge faces a potential penalty of 15 years to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Afterward, Mangione's lawyer, Mark Angofilo, told TMZ, "It's a big win and the first of many." Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office issued a brief statement saying, quote unquote, "We respect the court's decision and will proceed on the remaining 9 counts." Gosh, he's done. Carroll scheduled pretrial hearings in the state for December 1st, just days before Mangione's next date in court due in this federal case. And here it is. Free Luigi. Dang, this is crazy. Look at this, bro. He got like models. That's crazy. Mangione is handcuffed and shackled for a cuff appearance. Mangione, who had been locked up since his arrest, arrived in court in beige jail garb, handcuffs, and ankle shackles, making his first appearance in Carroll's courtroom since February. He was mostly silent, quietly conferring with his lawyers as the judge outlined his decision. Echoing the scene is his last hearing was dozens of supporters, mostly women, packed 3 rows in the rear courtroom gallery. Some were dressed in green. Hold on, let me see. Some were dressed in green, the color worn by the Mario Bros. Video game character Luigi. One woman sported a Free Luigi t-shirt. Across the street from the courthouse, cheers erupted as a pro Luigi rally as news spread that the judge dismissed the terrorism charges. Luigi pleaded not guilty late last year to multiple counts of unaliving, including unaliving as an act of terrorism. Surveillance video showed that the masked gunman hit Thompson from behind on December 4th, 2024, as the executive arrived to the Midtown Manhattan Hotel for his company's annual investor conference. Police say the words delay, deny, dispose were scrawled into the ammunition, mimicking a phrase commonly used to describe how insurers avoid paying claims. Luigi was arrested 5 days later in Altova, Pennsylvania, about 230 miles west of New York City. Judge rejects the double jeopardy argument. Luigi's lawyers have argued that the simultaneous state and federal prosecutions violate double jeopardy protections meant to prevent people from being tried multiple times for the same crime. But Carroll rejected the argument, saying that it would be premature to make a determination because neither case has gone to trial. Bragg's office contended that there are no double jeopardy issues, in part because the state and federal prosecutions involve different legal theories. The federal charges allege that Luigi stalked Thompson and do not involve terrorism allegations. Luigi's lawyers said the 2 cases have created a quote-unquote legal quagmire that makes it quote-unquote legally and logistically impossible to defend against them simultaneously. Diary writings have been the basis for the terrorism charges. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi in April said that she was directing federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty against Luigi as a quote-unquote act of political violence and a quote-unquote premeditated cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. Bragg's office quoted extensively from Luigi's handwritten diary as they sought to uphold the terrorism charges in the June court filing. They highlighted his desire to unalive an insurance honcho and his praise to the late Theodore Kaczynski, the convicted unaliving known as Unabomber. In the writings, the prosecutor said Luigi mused about rebelling against the quote unquote fatal greed fueled health insurance cartel and said that unalive an industry executive conveys a greedy bastard that had it coming. Yikes. They also cited a confession that he said he pinned to the feds, to which he wrote, "It had to be done." Luigi's intentions were obvious from his facts, but the writing served to make the intentions explicit. Prosecutors said the writings, which they sometimes describe as a manifesto, quote unquote, convey one clear message: that the unaliving of Brian Thompson was intended to bring about a revolutionary change to the healthcare industry. Carroll noted that the ruling of terrorism has been famously difficult to define. He knocked prosecutors for emphasizing Luigi's use of the phrase revolutionary anarchism in their attempt to bolster of their claims that he intended to influence government by intimidation or coercion. Not only does this stretch the import of the two-word phrase beyond what it carries, but ignores other more explicit absurds of the defendant's writings, in which he states that his goal is to spread a message, quote unquote, or quote unquote, win public support about quote unquote everything that is wrong within our health system, the judge wrote. Collins reported from Hartford, Connecticut. All right, next up. Strange fruit is in Mississippi. You guys have seen the story if you've been online or social media in the past couple days. It's something that I didn't look at, I didn't report immediately, just because it was like I didn't want to add to the speculation, but it's getting louder and louder, bro. When it's getting louder and louder, you gotta say what you gotta say. It's crazy that people are saying no one's talking about it when I feel like everybody's talking about it on the internet. Like all the people who said no one's talking about this, that's millions of views online. Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis, how do you even say that? Turns ugly, leading to a race war on social media. What happens? Why users clash over suspicious unalivings? And there it is. Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis turned ugly, leading to online clashes of race and media attention. Both men were found within hours of each other. Social media users debated why Trey Reed, a Delta State University student, received national coverage, while Corey Zukatis, a 36-year-old man from Brandon, did not. Dang. Bro, I know both of them places. Bro, that's crazy. Similarity of their unalivings and confusion over race sparked arguments, misinformation, and accusations, turning the discussion into a heated, quote-unquote, race war online. All right, Trey Reed and Zori within 24 hours, two men in Mississippi were passed in similar ways. The Matrivian Trey Reed, a 21-year-old Delta State University student, was found on his campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. Hours later, a 36-year-old Corey Zukatis, who was unhoused and originally from Brandon, was found in a wooded area near the casino in Vicksburg. Trey Reed didn't. Corey, why is everyone mentioning Trey Reed? Doesn't everyone deserve the same? Facts. That's a fact. Social media users quickly compared the two cases. Some pointed out that both men were unalive from under similar circumstances, but did receive different levels of attention. Reed's case sparked widespread outrage, while Zukatis' case drew limited discussion. Here we go. 1/3 unrelated, but they discovered the body of a African-American from the tree. But I see no need to investigate. There are no signs of foul play. When has an African-American ever wanted to buy in public for others to see? Never. Start with the racial division. There was a white boy. Two men have been found the same way in Mississippi. 21-year-old Trey Reed on his Delta State University campus, and Corey, who's 35, near Vicksburg. Many online users highlighted the racial dynamics between the cases. Reed, a young black student, received national attention, while Corey, a white man, did not. This created a clash on social media, with some accusing of selective outrage. Here you go. Investigators are underway as two men were found on Monday in separate parts of the state. Trey Reed, shown on the left, Corey, shown on the right, both in Mississippi. Not hearing much about this. Where's the public outrage? One user said, may rethink my comment since the same day as the white kid was being as well. His name was Corey, but I haven't heard any outrage over him. this story doesn't say much. But I'm gonna say this. So, but before I even finish, to hear that Corey was unhoused, which means he was homeless, according to this report, it's something I feel terrible about. Like, do I think a homeless man did that? That's the way a homeless man tried to go out. That's it. You know, people can say what they say, and most people are saying they don't believe it. Both of them, man. In the state of Mississippi, regardless, like they both come from like suppressed backgrounds. As a black man in America and as a homeless man in America. You know, and both of them aren't valued in the country, to be honest, to the highest that they can be valued. Like a lot of people don't see them as humans. They see them as statistics, numbers, or just objects and whatnot and things of that sort. So prayers up to both of the families, and prayers up. Rest in peace to Corey and rest in peace to Trey, 100%. I just have to say that out loud and make sure they know that I feel the way about both of them, especially from Mississippi. I was a Mississippi resident and citizen for 2 years. I still get emails about like, you're talking to the citizens of, you know, Byram, where I lived. I lived in Byram for 2 years. I'm like, I haven't lived in Byram or Hinds County in like 4 years at this point. Another user argued RP Corey because he was white. We can say he wasn't unalived by racists at the very least. Being homeless, he was affected and eventually unalived by the same destructive rhetoric. 100%, I agree with that. Confusion also spread when users began sharing a photo of another victim, Galvin Fortenberry, the 17-year-old unalived in August. I remember that story, I believe. I think that was a dude that like was like talking to ChatGPT. I don't know. But some wronged claimed the picture was Corey. The misinformation circulated widely before others corrected it. I demand action. We'll watch these stories and update. Is there anything that happens that asserts that the endless streams of false claims and original findings disprove the conspiracies? You find to make sure that jurists get the hate crime charge. Justice for Trey Reed. Justice for Corey. Black men don't them by trees, say their names, demand action. Cried this morning about Trey Reed. I'm tired. I just want a word where black bodies are safe. Let me rest this whole thing that Galvin Fontenberry, whose photo was being falsely used as Corey, was white. Can we guess the color of Galvin's suspected unalivers and their names? Javante Williams, Kendarius Washington, and Braden Herron. Not guessing, but what do you think? Man, goodness gracious. These people are just, oh my goodness. One post clarified this isn't actually Corey. This is Galvin Fontenberry, who was unalived in August. Please be careful when sharing photos. There it is. That makes up further field tension and misinformation among their unaliveds. This is Corey. Local authorities confirmed that both Trey Reed and Corey were both found, but no evidence of foul play has been officially released. Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky confirmed Corey's unaliving and stated that they were both discovered. He was discovered around 10:30 a.m. in Pittsburgh. Police believe Ray's might have been self-inflicted, though investigations continue. The silence is definite. If this was reversed, the headlines will never stop. May want to rethink that comment since the same day a white kid was discovered in a wooded area as well. His name was Corey, but I haven't heard anyone public outrage over him, not a public outcry. Authorities also noted that Corey was white, addressing the confusion caused online by suggesting otherwise. Officials clarified that the photo circulated online was not him, but another individual unrelated to the case. Despite official statements, online users have continued to question the circumstances of both unalivings. Some described it as modern day, demanding deeper investigations. Other cautioned against assuming foul play without any evidence. One comment read, America can't claim to be better than when it was exactly who we are. Pray for Trey Reed and Corey. Should be considered an act of terrorism. Important to note, this appears not to be Corey, but instead appears to be another young man, Galvin Fortenberry, who was another black man victim of violence. Just be wary when sharing photos and be respectful of the individuals involved. Meanwhile, others have accused some users of race baiting and spreading false narratives. This turned the conversation into a rated, quote-unquote, heated race war on social media, dividing users between those demanding racial justice and those insisting Both cases should be seen equally without exceptions. The similarity between the two unalivings, both men who were hanging from Mississippi within hours, has fueled the public suspicion. However, the official stance remains that no evidence of foul play has been confirmed. The online clash reflects broader concerns of how race, class, and media coverage affect public responses to suspicious unalivings. While Reed's case drew more headlines, Corey's case gained less attention, leading to debates over fairness and equality in coverage. Why did Trey Reed and Corey turn into that? That's the end of it. Okay. Yeah. Prayers up to both families. Prayers up to Corey. Prayers up to Trey. And I hope they get down to the bottom of it. Both of them need to be highlighted. Because Corey, I had this discussion with cops one day. It was like 2017, my first job. I was working as a news reporter. I did a ride along at the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. And then for a little bit, I was back at the station. I had to just sit there as he was doing his job, the guy I was doing a ride along with. And then I just had a whole argument with the sheriff, with the deputies in there about like racism and police brutality and stuff. And I was saying, like, he said, people are scared of me. I said, yeah, but like to be scared of a white person, like you had to be like you. He shaved, bald head, he was skin-headed, tattoos all over. For a black person, you just had to exist. I said, like, I'm like, at the time, I was like probably 150 soaking wet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably the least intimidating black person out there. But since I'm black, people still scared of me, you know what I'm saying, that aren't black and things of that sort. So I say this to say this man, Corey, was also you know what I'm saying, looked at a certain way by society, being a white homeless man, being a white poor man in America. In Mississippi, you get treated away. You see the thing that Brett Favre was alleged of, taking the money from the welfare to, you know, bring money into his foundation, bring money to him, bring money into, you know, building up a state-of-the-art volleyball facility so his daughter could play volleyball at Southern Miss and things of that sort. Like, you're looked down upon when you're poor, when you're homeless and things of that sort. People don't look at you as a human. So Corey deserves the same type of attention. And yo, Corey, we don't believe this happened to you because we know how people take advantage of homeless people. We know, we've seen it with our eyes, and we've seen the reports of it, of homeless women, especially how to get taken advantage of with their bodies and et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, being homeless doesn't make you any less of a human. So we definitely want to say rest in peace to Corey as well. And of course, rest in peace to Mr. Trey as a black man and things of that sort. Rest in peace, Trey Reed. Here's some of his photos and everything like that. 21 years old, class of 2023, a baby, man. I did see something that was interesting with this. And here we go. We're going to go to this first. The family of Trey Reed is not willing to accept any cause until they have an independent autopsy, the law firm representing the family said. Here we go. Shout out to Phil Lewis for this. Shout out to Fox 13 in Memphis. This has been huge in Memphis, boy. Memphis Fox 13. I believe this is the station where Kayla works. I don't know, like, I'm not Kayla's friend, but we have a lot of the same mutual friends. I believe we're like the same age. And I just saw Kayla like last month at NABJ in Cleveland. I wasn't going to speak on it just because I was like, man, because I know of her. We have mutual friends and stuff like that. But I will say, like, mistakes happen 100%. But despite the intention, whether it was a mistake or not, there are consequences for actions. So that's how I feel about the situation. It's an unfortunate mistake. However, you know, even mistakes have consequences. So prayers up to both families, prayers up to Kayla's family and her friends and stuff like that. But prayers up especially to the victims' families. Because you can still call JPay. You can still call visitation hours. You can't call the family members you've lost anymore. So I want to say that's my piece on that. Delta student, here we go from Fox 13. Cleveland, Mississippi. A Delta State University student whose officers found unalive and on a tree on campus had no injuries and quote unquote consistent with according to the Bolivar County coroner Randolph Sills Jr. said. Authorities discovered 21-year-old Trey Reed of Grenada, Mississippi, Monday morning on the campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. The incident led to the cancellation of classes on Monday. Delta State University's police chief officer Mike Peeler said that the law enforcement does not suspect foul play and is unaliving. Seals said the preliminary evidence does support that conclusion. Based on the preliminary examination, we can confirm that the deceased individual did not suffer any lacerations, contusions, or compound fractures, broken bones, or injuries consistent with At this time, there is no evidence to suggest that the individual was physically attached before his unaliving. Is it up here? Not up here. Okay, all right. We seen. I was looking at the trending stories to see if it was trending. There's no evidence to suggest the individual was physically attacked before his passing. Till said in a news release regarding Reed's unaliving. Till said that Reed's will be taken to Mississippi State Crime Lab for an autopsy. The autopsy may provide additional information into the final moments of Reed's life. We ask that the community remain patient with the coroner's office and other investigating agencies as we work together to get all the pertinent facts surrounding this investigation. Additionally, we ask that you respect the family as they navigate through this difficult time, Sill said. Following the coroner's report, the Jones law firm representing Reed's family announced that they would order an independent autopsy. Trey's family is not willing to accept any cause of passing until they have been presented with all the facts that will be independently verified through their own investigation, the Jones law firm said. Tuesday morning, Delta State University released a statement saying that the college will continue cooperating with law enforcement and supporting Reed's family. Today, we remain heartbroken at the loss of our student, Trey Reed. Last night, hundreds of students gathered on campus for a prayer vigil in honor of his life. We will continue to hold each other close in the days ahead. Delta State University is aware of the statement released overnight by the Boulevard County Coroner's Office. We continue to cooperate with law enforcement in the investigation. Our focus remains on supporting Trey's family, friends, and the Delta State community as we continue to grieve the loss together. Counseling services remain available for students through the OW Riley Counseling Center. Wait, hold on. This man, bro, you get, bro. I'm gonna respond to a lot of stuff. Oh my goodness. OW Riley Counseling Center and faculty and staff through the Human Resources Delta State University said. Attorney Brent Crump released the following statement. We've been retained by the family of Trey Reed, the 21-year-old Delta State University student who was found from a tree. Trey was a young man full of promise and worth, deeply loved and respected by all of those who knew him. His family and the campus community deserved a full independent investigation to uncover the truth about what happened. We cannot accept vague conclusions when the questions remain. I stand with the family and I will stand with the team of civil rights leaders and organizations and pursuing transparency and answers for Trey's family. First thing I'm thinking about with this is, why is this a big deal? Why are people... This is happening in the wake of the Charlie Kirk situation, where, if you guys knew, multiple HBCUs were threatened in the immediate aftermath. Everybody kind of jumped to conclusions of leftists and Democrats and things of that sort, which is just coded language to say black people. And we found out that, of course, it wasn't that. It was a white person that did it, a white person accused of doing it. Of course, there is additionally conspiracy theories on top of that, led by Candace Owens and Shapiro and all of those people and stuff like that. All those people, man, they having the whole thing, bro. Of the Israel people did it. This was the Israel president. He did this and stuff like that. Charlie ain't even in the ground, and the conspiracies are flying around. Like, y'all talk about respect for the family and people not respecting his wishes and things of that. Y'all being disrespectful too by coming up with conspiracies before he can even. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, dude. Anyways, we're going to move on because I saw this and I thought it was interesting. I looked up Trey on Facebook and I found his Facebook page. And I just thought it was really, really interesting. This is Trey's page. Lessons greater than learned, Delta State University, first day of school, true religion. True religion. Cousin. Everything like that. He's showing them love, right? I'm going to go to Trey's page, right? So his cover photo is, him kind of mourning the loss of Antonio Reed, who that might be to him, his father, his uncle, family member, things of that sort, right? His last shared post on Facebook, being able to read people's is half the reason I be on my own. Another one. One of the biggest things that I've learned this year is let things be. Let people go. Don't chase answers. Don't fight for closure, and never expect an explanation. So that's one of them, right? Another one, he's showing love to his family member. She lies, he cries. She apologizes, she's not sorry. He complains, she doesn't change. And yet he stays. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, I don't have the patience anymore. Now, the silence, not for the late replies, the unread messages, the sorry I was busy texts that come hours later, like afterthoughts. I don't have the patience for almost love, for the ones who swear that they care, but they forget to show up, for the ones who only love me when it's easy. I've been hurt too quietly, too long, and I just can't anymore. This heart has waited too many empty rooms. Now it's learning how to close the door. He shared that. He shared this. I gave everything I had, every part of me, that I would love, care, and stay, but I was never enough. And then I watched others receive the same love that I begged for without even asking. It breaks something inside you. Makes you question your worth. Makes you wonder if maybe the problem was always you. And that thought, it quietly destroys you. This was another one. Sometimes it hits you. This is all back to back. It's all back to back of what he's sharing and posting on his page. Sometimes it hits you hard that they never loved you. They never knew. They just knew you were the one that who always be there no matter what. You had a good heart, and they used that. They stayed not because they truly cared, but because you made their life easier for them. And deep down, you kept hoping that it was love. But when they needed someone that way, they needed you, they weren't there. They left you empty, making you feel like being a good person was your biggest mistake. That's the kind of pain that changes you forever. Another one, same day, August 25th. Nothing hurts more than fighting for a girl who doesn't want to try to fix things, but at the same time, it makes you seem like she wants to make it work. Feel relatable? This page is for you. Welcome. Delivered 1 hour ago. My brain. He's sitting down. Okay. And he just does that, right? August 24th. This is the same 2 days. I want you to know all the things he's sharing. As long as your heart is peeled, then blessings will find you. August 24th. I hope someone is proud of me because I'm really trying. August 24th. Lord, protect the path that I'm on and don't let me quit for nothing. August 24th. Go to sleep and trust in God and will fix whatever your situation is. August 22nd. My name touches rooms I never stepped in. Jealousy is a hell of a drug. August 22nd. Pray, wait, and trust. August 22nd. Disappear, improve, return, shock everyone. August 21st. I really want to publicly thank God for what he's doing privately. August 20th. God didn't say we're up in some form. So it's a lot of stuff talking about trials and tribulations, and then a lot of stuff talking about heartbreak and dealing with disappointment from women. Now, if you go to his photos, rest in peace to Trey Reed, everything like that, 100%. His photos, it's a woman. It's a woman. It's a woman. His bio says he's married. You tell he was a very passionate young man. You know what I'm saying? Very passionate young man. And he felt the way about something, whether it's disappointment, heartbreak, whatever the case might be. Just pointing that out. That's his last few social media posts on Facebook and stuff like that, right? So we go over to that, to the woman's page, Sarah Trotter. This was her reaction with it. And you guys, I don't know, I'll go back to this too, because I feel like this is important to point out too. His first day of school, where he was posting it, there was a top comment, and there was a lady that he heart emoji to it, and that was this lady right here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here it is right here, right? First day of school type stuff. I'm going to go right here to the comments. The top comment comes from this young lady. Where are you at? Sarah Trotter. It's a heart emoji 3 weeks ago. And he responds with like a hug and things of that sort. They both had the care emojis and stuff like that to it. That was August 20th. August 23rd, he started posting about the trials and tribulations. August 24th, he posts about being let down and a girl breaking his heart and all those things. And then a couple weeks later, he's still posting about stuff like that. And then September 12th, he talks about being on his own. So if this happened on Monday was September 15th. So that was 3 days after this, where he's talking about I'd be on my own. So the girl herself posted. She said, words can express how I feel. I miss you so much, and I know that God has a better plan for you. And I'm so grateful that God has placed you in my life. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. I appreciate everyone who's called and checked in on me. It's a huge pill to swallow, and I hope one day to see you again. Long live Trey Reed. Here's the pictures of him. So there you have it. From the lady he was talking about to the post he was talking about, kind of insinuating that he was let down by a woman. And that's what the woman has said. Dear God, give me the strength to get through everything I'm going through. I need you. And she put the heartbreak emojis as well right there. Prayers to young Sarah. Hannah Junk. Prayers to young Sarah. And prayers to Trey Reed and his family. 100%. I do think that's something that we should take in consideration with this whole thing. I don't know what the heck happened. I do think it'll be weird with that stuff. But yeah, I'll say that. Bro. Let me see. Hold on. I want to send the text. I'm going to send it right now. Give me a second. I'm going to take a break to send the text real quick before I forget, because I'm going to forget. Let me see. Okay. I already sent that. The lights come on. Should I listen to my mama? Shout out to Lareezy. New Lareezy coming out Friday. It's fire. The boy Lareezy snapping. Here we go. Phil Lewis. Shout out to my brother Phil Lewis, man. It's here. The Washington Association of Black Journalists is in partnership with Black and Missing Foundation has launched its first of a kind media guide to help newsrooms properly cover missing Black people. Bro, this man is tweaking. Bro, you are tweaking. Shoulda listened to my mama. Shoulda listened to my papa. Shoulda listened to my... Come on. 40% of missing persons are people of color. Let's ensure that they get the equitable coverage. Request your media guide for missing persons now. Here we go. Black and Missing Incorporated, in conjunction with the Washington Association of Black Journalists, of course, as the president, freaking Phil Lewis, bruh. I say Pablo Torre, the sports journalist of the year. Journalist of the year once again has to go to Phil Lewis, bro. He the best to do this, bro. He literally the best to do this, bro. Like, he the best doing this right now, bro. Phil Lewis is the best doing this right now, bro. I'm not just saying that just because that's the homie, that's a bro. Phil Lewis is the best doing this right now, bro. Black and Missing Foundation in Washington. Be the change you want to see. That's Phil Lewis, bro. You want to change the way Black people are reported on. You want to change the way Black people are shed the light on, how they're covered. You want to change the way that Black people's intelligence is looked at. You want to change the way that, man, why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about that? The inequities of the Black people that's missing, and it happens at a higher rate and this and that. You want to be the difference in that? Be Phil Lewis, bro. Just be yourself and be like Phil Lewis. Black and Missing Foundation and Washington Association of Black Journalists released groundbreaking media guide for reporting on missing purpose. The Black and Missing Foundation, in partnership with the Washington Association of Black Journalists, today announced the media guide for reporting on missing persons, a comprehensive resource designed to address the long-standing disparities in media coverage of missing persons cases, especially involving people of color. The media guide goes into culmination of the year-long collaborative effort by a dedicated task force made up by media professionals nationwide. It provides actionable recommendations for newsrooms to ensure fair, consistent, and equitable reporting practices to incorporate in their coverage of missing people. Quote unquote, after polling many newsrooms across the country, we discovered that none have formal policies or procedures of reporting on missing persons coverages, which has contributed to the lack of coverage for certain communities. That's why this guide is so critical to ensure that media coverage of missing persons is fair and constant, that ensures that missing persons cases receive the attention that they deserve. Natalie Wilson, co-founder of BAMFI, said, significant strides have been made to push towards the equitable coverage, but there's still so much more work ahead. According to the FBI, more than 500 50,000 people went missing in 2023, and persons of color made up nearly 40% of the missing persons cases. With this guide, newsrooms can refine their reporting approaches to ensure that no person is forgotten and that no case is overlooked by local law enforcement. Media coverage can be a critical link in generating leads and putting pressure on law enforcement to resolve cases quickly, De'Erica Wilson said, the co-founder of BAM-FI. Every second counts when a person goes missing, and this guide can help ensure those cases are treated with the sense of urgency that they deserve. The Washington Association of Black Journalists is proud to partner with the Black and Missing Foundation to launch a comprehensive media guide for reporting on missing persons cases, said Phil Lewis, president of the WABJ. For too long, newsrooms across the country have overlooked the stories of missing persons of color. We hope that this guide will help empower journalists and newsrooms to cover these stories accurately and appropriately. The guide provides recommendations on removing unintentional biases, establishing consistent coverage across outlets, and ensuring equal attention to the missing persons of colors, regardless of race, socioeconomic status, or geographic location. This once again goes back to Corey. Corey over there in Mississippi, in Brandon, Mississippi, really close to my old summer grounds over there in Hinds County and things of that sort, right? This goes back to the same thing. Corey might be white, and people might say, but the white guys, and why isn't this isn't just that? It goes under the same line because of socioeconomic status. Corey was reportedly and allegedly homeless. It goes under the same line as Trey Reed as a black man and things of that sort, and why people should look at Corey with the same third eye, what? This is weird lens that they're looking at with Trey Reed. Now, Trey Reed, you've seen his social media. We just don't know. We just do not know. We'll see what happens. Members of the media, educators, and public are encouraged to take action. Request your copy of the media guide, access the media guide, or reporting on missing persons. Join the journalist database. Be one of the first to know about missing person cases in your community and beyond. Teach the guide. Invite BAM-FI and the WABJ to present the resource and resource in your journalism classes and student newsrooms. Share the guide. Yeah, 100%. Shout out to freaking Phil Lewis, bro. This man, bro, but he be so humble about it too, bro. Like, gosh, Lee, man. This dude is, man, look, I can't even say it enough. Like, I say it all the time. People say it all the time. He just be like, thank you, I'm just doing my job, this and that. Bro, like, dude just care about his job or what he does, bro. And he does it with excellence, man. Like, I don't have the most perfect, you know what I'm saying, shows and flawless production and get everything right. You know, I don't have teams of resources and stuff like that. Like, I'm doing the most that I can by myself. Phil is doing this by, like, a lot of stuff he does is by himself. He don't use that as an excuse. He holds himself accountable, everything like that. And he holds himself to a standard of excellence. So he demands everybody under him as a Huffington Post, editor, as the, you know what I'm saying, president of the Washington Association of Black Journalists. He holds everybody to a you know what I'm saying, a standard of excellence because he holds himself to that standard of excellence. And for that, bro, it's just like, I don't know, man. I just be like, bro, I'm just inspired, bro, and thankful that we work in the same generation as someone like a Phil Lewis. And I'm honored to have met bro and talked to him, you know what I'm saying, and develop some type of rapport with him where, like, he remembers stuff and, like, this is important, dog. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to get emotional. I'm passionate about this stuff. It's my passion, right? And Phil's just doing it the right way, bro. It's like certain people, like I was just shouting out Ziwe earlier. I was shouting out Nathan a couple weeks ago when I was reading his story on the black woman and stuff like that who was getting made fun of her looks on Instagram, and she was like, "I'm not deleting the selfie. I'm standing up for it." Nathan over there at People, Jeremy Heck, you know what I'm saying? It's so many people, bro. That's just like so good at what they do. Like, and it inspires me, bro, because like I said, I know I'm not perfect and everything like that. I know, like, I be messing up sometimes. I don't get all the fact, you know what I'm saying? I just don't do everything flawlessly and stuff. But it's people like this that I'm just like, bro, like, do better, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate Phil for doing this. And I'm sure the black missing families and stuff like that, families of the black missing children and the black missing people, they appreciate it as well, bro. Like, what's the mark you leaving on this earth? What's the legacy? Phil leaving a legacy and a mark, and it needs to be acknowledged, and he needs to be standing ovation every room he walks in. You know what I'm saying? People don't even be knowing Phil, bro. In person, people won't be knowing that's Phil Lewis, bro. Like that's how much he don't want to be famous. He don't want to be in front of the camera and stuff like that. Like, that's a true journalist. When you just do it because it's your service to the community. And you're just that excellent at it, bro. Like, and I'm a person of this as well. Instead of complaining about the people at the top or whatever, quote unquote, the top, that's perpetuating and doing bad things that's detrimental to progression of black people and black media personalities and things of that sort in particular, or media personalities in particular, let's make sure we focus and give the same type of energy that we give to hating on those individuals to uplift and to shout out the individuals that are doing the good work. And are doing not only the good work, but doing it at a level that is so just what the heck inspires me to be better. Let's give the same energy to them. That's why I'll never hesitate to quote unquote glaze. I'm always going to give people their flowers, bro. Because I'm going to talk a lot of trash. I'm going to talk trash now. I'm going to talk trash. I ain't going to say nothing that I want to say to a person's face. So to me, that ain't considered gossip. It's considered gossip if you're going to say something behind their back that you won't say to their face. That's gossip. It ain't when you say it to their face. But as much as trash and criticism and everything, critiques that we do, I'm going to give you the flowers tenfold, bro. Because the positivity deserves the same amount of attention and energy, dog. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Phil Lewis, bro. Tyler Robinson. His alleged text messages came out. They read really weird. You know, conspiracy theories are jumping all over the place. And these text messages being allegedly reported and stuff like that don't help him at all. They don't help at all, bro. Here's one part. The roommate responded, what? The roommate was his alleged lover and things of that sort. What? You're joking, right? He said, I'm still okay, my love, but I'm struck with the aura for a little while longer yet. It shouldn't be a long time till I can come home, but I grabbed my rifles. Oh, I gotta grab my still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret until of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? He said, I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. He said, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet now, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had had enough of its hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my foreseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved up. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this for? A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car right by it. I think they have already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. She said, he said, ... I'm wishing I circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried that what my old man would do if I didn't bring back my grandpa's. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about the prints I had to leave and a brush where I changed outfits. I didn't have the ability to bring or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it. I hope that it don't find any prints. How the F am I going to explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I had left was a rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember of how I was engraving the bullets. The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If it's notices bulge on Fox News and might have a stroke, all right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Should have listened to my mama. Should have listened to my papa. All right, new Tyler Robinson post leaked to me. Tell you a different story than the one that you've heard before. And this is from Ken Klepenstein. He released this independently on Substack.
Charlie Kirk got hit on the live. I just saw the video. Holy ish. RP, I guess. Bro didn't deserve to go out like that. Sad. In the same Discord, hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering though through a shared friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You all been so amazing. Thank you for everything. Are you serious, bro? In a Discord? Let me see. We publish leaked documents so you can decide for yourself what you think. If you have support that mission, you want to see more documents like this, please subscribe. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. Thus, Tyler Robinson messaged his friends in the Discord, seemingly apologizing for unaliving Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry for all of this. I obtained this and other Discord chats. I decided to publish. The legacy news media, as usual, refuses, along with the new information I've learned about Robinson from people who knew him best. So there it is, the first one. Trump and company portray the alleged Utah as a left wing and liberal portray him as a right wing. The federal conclusion will inevitably be that he was a so-called nihilistic, violent extremist. Oh, wow. Meanwhile, the crackdown has already begun. As I reported yesterday, the country is practically ready to go to war. It's been so terrible, and seeing it from the inside perspective is so frustrating. A friend of Robinson since middle school told me, the childhood friend who asked not to be named out of fear of threats, provided to me above non-public photo of Robinson on a camping trip, a favorite activity of his to corroborate their relationship. I think the main thing that has caused so much confusion is that he was always generally apolitical for the most part. A friend told me that's a big thing. He just never really taught politics, which is why it's so frustrating. Let me scroll down. Here's more stuff. So what is this? Two of us all, he seemed like a simple guy who liked to play games like Sea of Thieves, Deep Rock Galactic, and Helldivers 2. He loved to fish and he loved to camp. The friend said it seemed like that's really all he was about. And he posted Helldivers 2. One step closer to finding the DRG dwarves. The phrase inscribed on the bullet casings was, "Hey, fastest catch." Though widely reported he was a man of the left, in fact, to the reference to the Helldivers 2 game. What? He was trolling using video game rhetoric? I seen someone say that, but I never okay, now reading the stuff. 3 arrows initially believed to be federal agents of a reference to Antifa are also a reference to Helldivers. Oh, that's crazy. Private Discord messages shared with me by a friend of Robinson's confirmed that Robinson wasn't some political martyr. A searcher post of Robinson's containing the words like Biden and Trump turned up one hit just each. The Trump post referring to the past reference in the 2019 impeachment inquiry. The Biden one came up the day of the 2020 election, where he provided an update to another friend asking about the status of the vote count. An impeachment inquiry has been placed against Donald Trump. He could get booted out if they committed the stuff he's accused of. Who's winning the election? You would know. Biden is in the lead of electoral votes for us, but there are still some swing states that haven't been finished voting, as well as the most of the West Coast raw votes. Donald is the lead by a little over 1 million votes. Who's probably going to win? I'm not sure. When will we know? Not until pretty late, but we should have a pretty good idea by the end of the night, unless it's really close or something. The childhood friend is a member of multiple Discord chats with Robinson. So even the goodbye messages he sent were in one of our servers. It was so hard to believe. We all just thought, what a weird joke to make. Then the news came out and we were all just calling each other saying, check the news. Yeah, I don't know what makes a person then go decide he's going to decide to drive 360 miles upstate to hit someone like Charlie Kirk, then come back like nothing happened. It leaves room for a lot of speculation and theories, which is why I think they're so important. As part of the confusion, he attributes Tyler's to his quiet nature. He was a really smart guy, but super hard to read, stone cold poker face, and you could never see that he was confident, assuming, but anything. Hey everyone, if you had not seen the news yet, but Tyler's post above is true. He's taken into custody above and for the of Charlie Kirk. Regardless of the horrible actions that took place, we must take a member to remember that God is a living and loving God who loves all of his children. God calls sinners to be saints, and that I ask you all to take a moment of silence to pray for Tyler and his repentance. While Charlie Kirk's politics were not acceptable to some, I ask that we are all in prayer for him and his family during these confusing times. Love you all. God bless. That's crazy. I'm going to EEP pretty soon, pretty EP, but I'm very ill. Another John A. Buckle Pierce says gullible calling. Spring in New Hampshire. Spring in southern Utah, 87 degrees. Had to replace a monitor that was on the wall mount. The top 2 mountain points have a standoff, but the person who did the initial install didn't have them and installed like 8 washers to make a connection. He said, I know the feeling. Yeah. All right, so there it is. That's it. Edited by William M. Arkin. Interesting stuff. This Tyler kid. Next. Someone said, whoop-de-doo. Oh.
We need to address today, Council. Just for the court's information, we did file just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty that was filed by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. So that should be in the court's file. Other business that we.
He had no reaction to when they said they're seeking out the death penalty for him. He's facing the death penalty. He just kind of looked down and that was it. He said, that happens. Whoop-de-doo. Man, I love the smell of freedom. Why wasn't the given to him? Oh, Dylan Roof was giving it. There it is. For those who refer to Charlie Kirk as a fascist, just so you know, people who think differently is peak fascism. The guy didn't react. An eye for an eye. Every heinous criminal should get. All right. We're going to go to the next thing. Next. We're going to the WNBA. Hard pivot here. Now you guys see why I waited to do a morning stream. Because it's 2.5 hours and we only halfway. I'm only like halfway through everything. This might be a 4-hour stream.
I've seen a lot of the comments talking about some AI. And I'm just here to tell y'all that was definitely AI. I could never do that. I know y'all probably came on here to see a baddie, but she's gone. Hey, I seen a lot of the comments.
Hey, yo. Here's another one. Kiki is really one of us. Kiki Honor reposted this. Lexi Ho, not the first thing I expected to see on this app. Sheesh. Natasha Cloud, AT, you play too much. Girl, you look TF good. Kayla Charles, Lacey Brown, but why are you T? De'Erica Hamby, chill, man. My man on this app. It's funny. Kyle Copper, you better. Angel Reese, you fine. I need that. Marina Mabry, fine. Rakia Jackson, a baddie. Brittany Sykes, nah. Second slide, got it. Cam, it's Cam 24. I don't know who that is. Body T, Courtney Williams, Wowzer, when she was right there. Dee Richardson, needs that. Dejanay, I'm scared of you, Hunty. Lexi Hole, not the first thing I expected when I first opened this out. Sheesh. And she shot the baddest. Yo, they are so on series, bro. On series. Next thing, man. Nas Hillman, the photographer. So these are some stories from Nas Hillman and stuff like that. She is a photographer as well. A nice landscape feature from Mr. Sean Hurd. Whether as a player or as a photographer, Nas Hillman wants to take the perfect shot. The Atlanta Dream forward, seen as a front runner of WNBA 6th Player of the Year award, has been honing her craft of photography all season long. When she's not on the court as a starting forward for the Atlanta Dream, you can find Nas Hillman shooting another type of shot. This year, Hillman has cultivated an overdue passion for photography and interest at first peak when she was in high school. On every Dream road trip, Hillman embarks on a mission to photograph her surroundings. She's well equipped for the task with the Sony A7 III camera, a Christmas gift from her mom and her boyfriend, Andrew Wells, who graciously carries her camera bag. Hillman, who has emerged as a front runner of WNBA 6th Player of the Year award, believes professional athletes should have a hobby outside of their sports. Though she spends majority of her time during the season around her dream teammates in basketball, Hillman prefers not to take photos of her day-to-day life as an athlete, instead keeping her passion and her job separate. Wonderful. I love my job. I love basketball, but I think everybody needs a moment to step away, said Hillman, who averages 8.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. Photography gives me that moment. Beautiful. In an interview with Anscape, Hillman shares the stories beyond some of her favorite shots of the season. This conversation has been lightly edited and condensed. Seattle. Since I was little, I've always loved going to different cities and seeing their skyline. I always thought when I was younger, anyway, this is my favorite city just based on the skyline, just the different buildings, the shapes, the sizes, the contrast of what the sky is like in the background, depending on whether or not it's sunny or that day or cloudy. I think that it always brings out a lot of character into the city, into the buildings, how the sun reflects off of them, and if they have windows in that building. That's the big hit that I'm always drawn to in the architecture, whether it's a lot of high rises, if there's a mix, if there's any kind of weird shaped buildings. I find that very interesting. And of course, they have the Space Needle in Seattle. And this photo doesn't even have that in Seattle. So it's very nice that she saw that. Here's the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, right? That's New York, right? Let's see if I'm right. Brooklyn. For this image, I really liked a lot of things, all the lines and the wires of the bridge. I think it popped out more in black and white, giving a more moody feel. If it brings out more attention to those lines, if it were for color, maybe you should just be focusing more on the bridge. But I feel really like the symmetry on how there's a little bit more of a shadow. There's always more focus and emphasis on that. I think the black and white really kind of also blurs the people a little bit. I feel like that's the last thing that you'll look at, which I kind of wanted. I really like that the shadows, and I want you to see the symmetry of the lines compared to the other ones above, where I thought the lines and liked how bright it was. By the way, I'm about to go to Brooklyn in New York. Let me see if I can see with my boy. All right, hold on. Let me see. Yo, I'm on stream right now, but I wanted to know if staying with y'all this weekend was a possibility. Dot. Little grimy face. Yikes face. If not, that's cool. That's cool. This is a last second ask. Ask. And I understand y'all are busy. Are busy adults. Laughing emojis. All right. So I sent it out. I asked him, bro. I might have to give me a hotel though. There's more of a focus and emphasis on that. I think the black and white also kind of blurs out people. I feel like that's the last thing that you want to look at, which I kind of wanted. I really like the shadows and I want to see the symmetry. And I like how bright it was. Oh, this looks like her niece or cousin that she brought to the post-game press conference the other day. Ohio, this is like my pride and joy, my niece, Shyla. There it is. This was during All-Star break when I went home. I hadn't seen my mom in a while, who got me the camera. My mom usually comes to all the games, but she hadn't been able to before All-Star break. My niece and I were actually making friendship bracelets. She's really big on that now. This was like the first photo I was able to snap because she wouldn't let me continue to take a picture. She wouldn't look at the camera anymore. So this is the one I end up getting. I actually have one of her friendship bracelets on the right now. She's photogenic, so I wanted to make sure I got a picture of her. Aw. Niecey Poo. Who's this, Ryan? Where is this at? In Chicago? Where are they at with it? Chicago. This is my teammate Ryan Howard. The hat that she's wearing, we actually went to a store to make the hat. It says Chicago on the front. The red lining already came with it, but we were able to pick up our own patches. They ironed them out for us. That was a trip that we had planned prior to going to Chicago. We saw it on TikTok or something. I wanted to take this picture. It's kind of like being in Chicago. I didn't want to take it straight on. I kind of like how it was kind of to the side of her head. I think we were walking and I saw this angle and I wanted to take it as a way to get our side profile, but also a little bit of the buildings in the back and the street sign as well. Yeah, this is a cool picture. I'm taking toe tie. And this one with Ryan with the orange, or no, it's just flowers. When I was younger, I was just taking pictures on my phone. I used to, take like close-ups of the grass and the dew. Getting outside more was something that I want to do in general, but closer to nature, I really like the detail of the flower. I think that the biggest thing when I'm taking pictures of trees or flowers or grass is being able to see the detail from afar, from away. If you're able to see these flowers, you will see the pink and not just how the edges are white, but how little white pieces in the middle. They really want to get that close up and how show its vibrancy. This actually wasn't even outside. It was at a flower pot at a market that I saw during All-Star weekend. Wow. You would have thought that it was outside. And that was kind of what I was going for. Just the detail and simplicity of these things. Man, they all look a bit different. And then you're able to see it in the picture. Yeah, that's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. What's it? She had a game. Minnesota Vikings. Her man on the Vikings. My man's in the Minnesota Vikings. I definitely think being an athlete gives you a different perspective as a photographer. I think I'm able to get a kind of filter as an athlete that you would see after a game, and not being able to have that little bit of variety as well. Here's them golfing. Miss Ryan Howard. I am awful at golfing. I enjoy being with my teammates Ryan and Leash. So that's not how I incorporate myself in their daily plans of going. I'll just say I'll caddy or I'll bring my camera and I'll just take pictures. You guys golf. I'll tell you guys whether or not you guys are good or bad that day. I'm just a photographer. I do not swing the club. That is not my job. Where is this? Is this? I have no clue where this is. This could be Atlanta. This could be Las Vegas. I have no clue. Where is this? I actually think it's really hard to photograph sports, obviously, with things in motion and being able to catch it at the right angle or speed, your apertures. I feel like you have to be perfect when it comes to sports photography. I'm really just dabbling into that. I've done a little bit more golfing than anything else. Not Tillman. Where is this? This looks like Philly, Minnesota. Oh, I really like the colors of the building, but also the stone. I've never been to Minnesota. I like being below or underneath the building, so I feel more like a castle. It's so big and built up, as well as the angle of the sky. San Francisco. I was actually walking back and getting some lunch, and I looked down the street and saw the clock tower, and I thought it was beautiful. Honestly, I didn't even initially see the statue at the bottom, but it was just like, I absolutely loved the shot. I could have gotten closer, but I really liked how the light was hidden on the clock tower. I'm literally in the middle of the street in a crosswalk to take the picture. I could have probably taken the same picture from the sidewalk, but I really thought it's important to get that kind of right down the middle so you can see the statue as well, the stop sign and the stoplights. And it's just like one of those lines and the colors as well. This is Maya Caldwell on a jet ski. Seattle. We were on a boat in Seattle. It was actually Jordan Canada's birthday. Happy birthday, Jordan Canada, that day. So a lot of the team went out on a boat. We had jet skis. And this was really a hard picture to take, actually, because we were still moving along on our boat. And Maya Caldwell was moving as well. I was just kind of snapping away, trying to get the perfect angle. The lighting and everything needed to be basically perfect for the photo. What I like about this picture is how it's off-centered. I really think it speaks to how hard it is to take a picture and knowing I wasn't able to get the perfect shot 100%. That's fire. That's fire, bro. And this is Ryan with the orange slice. Ryan Howard, she posed herself actually in terms in Seattle of this orange in front of her face. I think I was taking some pictures in the background, and she just kind of like stood like this at the angle of my camera to get the shot I wanted. But this picture of her is actually her own. I really liked how the trees were poking out behind her. The sky's really clear that day, and the orange is a little bit of a funny little thing with it being her smile. Yeah, no, 100%. That's cool. I ain't gonna lie, that's a cool one. And here's her just taking pictures at the market. What market is this? I do usually take pictures that, just kind of catch my eye. That's fire. What is this, a Sunday? Papina. What is this? Vancouver, British Columbia. I was walking through a market when we saw this. It's ice cream with a pastry on top. This was mine. I had chocolate pretzels, peanut butter, and there was one of the best puff pastries at the bottom as well. I never had one, and it was and I was in a different city, a different country, and I thought before I eat it, it looks pretty. So I just snapped a picture. It was also so yummy. So it looks good and it tastes good. Salute. Shout out to New Experiences. Low Black Meat Company, quality meat always. Washington, Seattle. This picture of Low Black Meat Company, I feel like it's just a nostalgia picture, maybe because the lighting of the sign, it just feels a bit older to me. I really enjoyed that and the color of it as well. I actually took this picture my first time we went to Seattle, and I went home and edited it, and I hated it. So then I was like, when I go back, I'm going to take a picture to really capture what I was looking for, and I think this time I was able to capture it. On the notes, production credit, Sean Hort, camera operations, Michael Becker, and producer Jasmine Bryce. Sean Hurd is a senior writer at Anscape who primarily covers women's basketball. His athletic peak came at the age of 10. He is named the camper of the week at the Josh Childress basketball camp. Shout out to Josh Childress, bro. I met Josh Childress as well, like as a kid. It was he did a thing at the Hawks camp. He showed up and he talked to us and stuff. It was really cool. And Mike Woodson was there. He was like, young man, you got to learn how to shoot a layup with both hands. And I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. My dad said you can't coach. And Mike Woodson was right. I did need to learn how to shoot a layup with both hands. Maya Moore and Jamel Hill sticking along the theme of WNBA player things. What? That's fire. Fire. How was that experience? I like to know different people's perspective on it. I had an hour-long conversation with Maya Moore ahead of her Hall of Fame induction. Moore left basketball in her prime to deeply commit to social justice causes and the people in her life. But would she have stayed a little longer if the WNBA paid better? Gift article. So I hope that means it's free. The Atlantic. Here you go. WNBA superstar who left the game in her prime. Maya Moore walked from basketball to focus on social justice activism. Was it worth it? By Jamel Hill. Maya Moore walked away from basketball in the prime of her career as arguably the greatest women's basketball player in the world. She had won 2 college national championships at the University of Connecticut, 4 WNBA titles with the Minnesota Lynx, 2 Olympic gold medals in both a regular season and WNBA Finals MVP award. When she left the league in 2019, after just 8 seasons to focus on social justice activism, which included working to overturn the conviction of an inmate of whom she would then marry, fans wondered how much more damage she would have done for the record books if she continued to play. Would she now be considered the greatest women's basketball player of all time? When I interviewed her 2 weeks ago ahead of her induction at the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, Moore ruminated over a different what if, quote unquote. One is she had never considered and occurred her mid-thought as she was reflecting on her brilliant career. Would Moore still be playing if she was able to make more money in the WNBA? She said, if we were getting paid more of our fair value while I was still playing, Moore said, before her voice trailed off, she paused. I'm not a big what if person, but it's actually a really intriguing what if question. I remember, right? So Maya from Atlanta. I was talking to an industry insider with basketball, right? I'll leave it at that, pretty vague, about when Maya Moore announced she was leaving. I said, she's fighting social justice. He said, that's what she's saying. But I think it's because she couldn't come to an agreement on her new contract. And I remember that, but like with all she did afterwards of like actually freeing the man and then eventually marrying him and then like coming up with this book and this story and documentary and stuff, it was like interesting. It was just interesting to now see Maya Moore eventually say this just up front. The prospect should be embarrassing for the WNBA. Over the course of her career, Moore made $646,000 in salary. For comparison, the minimum one-year NBA salary during her final season was just shy of $900,000. Under her final contract, she signed she signed when she was a woman's equivalent of LeBron James. Her salary was just $117,000. During the offseason, like many WNBA players, she played overseas. In her case, Spain, China, and Russia to supplement her income. Excuse me. Playing internationally, Moore was making more each year than her value of her entire WNBA career. When Moore was in the league, the WNBA was still finding its financial footing and had yet to prove that it could be a solvent league, let alone an extremely lucrative one. That dynamic had changed dramatically over the past few years. The league in the middle of, thanks to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, the league is in the middle of contentious labor negotiation for its players who want a larger piece of the revenue, who now think that the league is enjoying record attendance and had a massive media rights deal that kicks off next season, and has consequently seen a historic surge in franchise valuations. During WNBA All-Star Weekend a few months ago, players were criticized for wearing t-shirts during the warm-ups that read, "Pay us what you owe us." The reaction to the t-shirts was polarizing, but the players showed solidarity and outspokenness to an extension of standard Moore helped create when she played. Moore was among the early wave of athletes who strongly embraced the Black Lives Matter movement. Weeks before, former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem to draw attention to police brutality. Moore and her Minnesota teammates engaged in their own demonstration before facing the Dallas Wings. Moore and her teammates wore t-shirts during the pregame warm-ups that read, "Change starts with us, justice and accountability." After police unalived Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Philandro Castile in the Falcon Heights, Minnesota, the team's public plea was met with backlash, especially with the local police force. 4 off-duty Minneapolis officers who provided security for the Lynx games walked off their posts in protest. That time in 2016 was a powerful time, but it was also an exposing time, Moore recalled. For us to say that Black Lives Matter, we're not okay with what happened, for that to be seen as disrespecting police officers, why is that the only option? In 2017, Moore co-wrote an op-ed for USA Today with a district attorney and federal prosecutor to shed light on a prosecutorial misconduct and highlight her quote-unquote win with justice campaign, which advocated for the fairness in which the criminal justice system. It was an issue that was personal for Moore, who had been captivated by the case of Jonathan Irons. In 1998, at the age of 18, Irons had been convicted of burglary and sentenced to 50 years in prison despite flimsy evidence against him. In 2019, Moore announced that she was sitting out the season to focus, quote unquote, more on people in our family, as well as investing my time in some ministry dreams that had been stirring in my heart for many years. Her primary focus was freeing Irons. Amazingly, she succeeded. The conviction came eventually overturned, and Irons was freed in 2020. It became more of a story of freedom and justice, but love as well. Moore and Irons married 9 days after his release. I remember that reaction. Moore never returned to basketball and officially retired in 2023. When Irons was freed, it was during the height of the national conversation of social justice, policing, and criminal justice system. Athletes, especially Black athletes, were embedded into the conversation as deeply as anybody else. But much more has changed since then, despite the political turmoil of the current. Dang, she wrote a whole story on like 3 questions. That's a journalist. Shout out to Jamel Hill, bro. Of the current movement, the widespread dismantling of DEI, and the growing right-wing acceptance of overtly racist ideas, the resistance in sports has given more in a way of capitulation. The prominent voices largely have been silent. I asked Moore another question in a revisionist history territory. Given the moment she was a part of has spurted out, was leaving basketball the bigger fight worth it? She said, I don't think that it was wasted. She said, anytime you get to be a model human dignity, you plant those seeds, is going to continue to grow. Moore might be right. At the moment, though, it's hard to tell. There it is, Jamel Hill. Shout out to Jamel Hill. Now, I think the rest, we got some streaming stuff and then one more story at the end of the stream. Here we go. Streaming stuff. Phantom, he reveals.
Put y'all niggas on. I put y'all niggas on.
W Phantom, bro, for getting in the shoe with Puma, everything like that. Streamers are winning, content creators are winning, as you guys know. Here's the latest example of that.
Put y'all niggas on. I put y'all niggas on a shoe. I put y'all niggas on a shoe. Hold on, shout out to the truth. Give me shit. Stop playing with me.
That's fire.
Stop playing with me.
For the truth, Phantom.
No bullshit. First community to be on the shoe, nigga. No cap, nigga. You heard? No bullshit. Shout out to the fucking truth, nigga. No bullshit. Son. You feel me? So you feel me? Or you know what I'm saying? You bitches hard. By the way, these are placeholders once again. I don't want to be confused. I mean, W Puma for allowing me to make greatness. I mean, niggas spam is 6'7". Don't forget, I am from 167. It's not because of the 6'7" shit. Just trolling with the shit, but yeah. Right? Damn, son. W Puma, though. You know what I'm saying? W Puma.
Yeah. Shout out to Phantom, bro, for sure. That's a huge W. Toda and Sage. Oh yeah, this was funny to me when I saw it.
Yeah. You speak English? She speak English. You think she speak Portuguese? Is she speak English? She speak English. Yeah. You understand? What you say? Yes, we understand her. She's American. You say two. You say two.
Don't copy me. And now I'm not talking.
Oh, come on, please.
Leave me alone, do that.
You understand me? Oh no. She's American, Tota. You understand me? Tota, oh no. Teach me English. You understand me? You understand me? Oh, you think she's an alien? You think she's an alien? You understand me? Oh, hi. You understand me?
I don't want to be bothered. I just got here already. I just came from the tail.
What did you say? What did you say?
I just came from the tail.
Yup. Yup. You speak English? She speak English.
Bro, heartwarming stuff, bro. We going back to FaZe. We getting real serious again. Going back to FaZe. Adapt speaks on the FaZe situation.
And now it's what? I've been hearing shit like this of all the bickering for a decade plus, and now it's on the internet. And if you want to know how I feel about it, I think the whole situation is wrong. I think everything's wrong, top to bottom. No matter how you cut it up, I think it's wrong. I think how it's being handled is wrong. I think it's how it's being continued to be handled is wrong. I'm sorry if I'm tripping over my words, but I'm normally not ever on here on no serious shit like this. If I have issues with someone or a problem or something where I feel very strongly of, I will go take it up with them. I will hit them. I will call them. I'll do that. So sitting here seeing how it's handled.
But should y'all not tell, you know what I'm saying, the public? If you know something that's wrong, it's your man, y'all making billions of dollars together. Shouldn't that be, you know what I'm saying? And you addressed it privately behind closed doors like Buddy did. He said, hey, y'all need to get rid of him. Y'all need to get him off of FaZe. They wouldn't do it. So he left FaZe himself, right? And you kept the secret for years and it was eating up at you and you just said the secret. I don't see a problem with him doing it.
It is fucking heartbreaking if I have to just be honest. Seeing people who I grew up with, who I grew up idolizing, and then who I became friends with and became like a little brother to everyone, all of them. Now it's years later and this is what's happening. I think it's wrong in every conceivable category that it's wrong. And yeah, it's fucked.
6, 7. Shouts out to their kids. I don't listen to Skrilla. I listened to the song once after people kept saying 6, 7. I was like, okay, that's kids sometimes they just have some stupid things, bro. They just have some stupid things, bro, that they just be liking. You gotta let the kids have what they have, man. I'll leave that to the kids, bro.
There's times where sometimes I even question. I'm just keeping it really real with y'all. I'm like, I'm a FaZe member. I've been here for a long time. I helped build this back up. I've done a lot. I support our esports more than anybody. Anybody. And then there's times where I'm like, damn, bro, is this really? Do I feel like I'm part of this, bro? Do I feel like this is my shit? I be going through some mental shit, bro. A lot of this FaZe shit. And it obviously what happened with Tommy, like, happened with what's going on, obviously, with Norden. And Norden's a FaZe legend, whether people hate him or not, bro. Like, I will always feel that way. But I do wish there was some separation between new FaZe and old FaZe. I do feel like a lot of the shit that's happening right now is dragging down new FaZe, no doubt. And I think it's unfair. There's times where sometimes I even question.
People talk about it all the time, like FaZe fans. They're like, that man K-Sean does more with Cosnet than he does at the own FaZe crib. He be looking happy. K-Sean be looking genuinely happy, bro. He love going with Kai and them, bro. And like, I think that says a lot about you. You live in a content house and people ain't never seen you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the closest was when you did your set out in the place that I've been at before. You got Beverly Hills, right? You have what's that place? I've been there before. With the white dude, right? Malibu. Out in Malibu, when you was out on a pier in Malibu and stuff like that, you was doing the DJ set and that was there for you. That was like the closest thing that I seen that you do that was like what you be doing with Kai when you be smiling and stuff like that. If you're not happy, you're not happy. But I understand the loyalty too. FaZe made K-Son famous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel him on that. It'll be interesting to see what happens, bro. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. This is my last thing, man. Adult summer camps, bro. Adult summer camps, they are seeing a surge of interest as people seek community and nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? So this is huge because I feel like with the rise of technology and the rise of social media, the more we're connected online and virtually, the more lonely we are as humans. I just feel like that's how it is. Aubrey Plaza always go back to say this. I say the same stuff with this stuff all the time. She made a quote where it's like social media is weird because you could be interacting with hundreds of people, but in reality, you're just sitting in a chair in a room by yourself, looking at your phone for 20 minutes. And that's 100% true, man. People are longing for connection and community, and we need people. People need people 100%. So with that, I understand why adult summer camps are getting more of a surge in interest and things of that sort. This is from CBS News. I think it was the Washington Post posted this under a paywall, and it was like this extension feature. And I didn't want to do the whole like go around a paywall thing for a feature that they created solely to get people to subscribe to their services and stuff for stories like that. But it's very interesting. So I saw this thing from CBS News that was free anyway from June. This was written by Nancy Chen. Shout out to Nancy Chen. Summer camp isn't just only for kids. Yelp reports that nearly 350% increase in searches on adult summer camps this year as people search for community and nostalgia. "Quote unquote, what's really cool for it is all the activities are planned for you," camper Kenny Rosenstock said. At Club Getaway in Kent, Kentucky, campers 21 and older come again for every weekend to meet new friends and be a kid again. "I did overnight camps when I was younger, but I really remember going out on the water, going rock climbing. Why not do that with some alcohol?" Oh, here we go. Said Shamia Briscoe, one of the many who come to camp. Open to children during the week, Club Getaway has been welcoming adults for nearly 50 years, quote unquote. "I think people come here for an experience. They want to meet new people. They want to try new things and feel a part of a community, even if it's just a short period of time." That's the same thing with like bike club, run club, book club, all these things. Like you need community, bro. Like as an adult, because as an adult, you don't have forced friends. You get forced friends growing up, just going to school. You don't have that when you graduate school and you become an adult. So you need community. We all need people. People need people. That's just how it is. I think people come here for an experience. They want to meet new people. They want to try new different things and feel a part of a community, even if it's just for a short period of time. David Schreiber, the camp owner, said. It wasn't until recently, though, that the program's doubled as interest spiked. Schreiber relates to growing interest to people yearning for a simpler time. Things are complicated right now. There's a simplicity that comes here, right? There's some sort of depth in the superficiality and just laughing and meeting people and just doing silly, zany things. He said the desire to escape comes from 60% of workers at an all-time high feeling burnout, along with rising levels of loneliness. It's hard to find friends as an adult, Briscoe said. So like the fact that we can connect as an adults and just like enjoy each other without our phones and just be happy, it means a lot. Adult summer camp tips. From California to Connecticut, the average price is around $800 for a weekend away as adult summer camp. If you're interested in booking your own weekend, it's suggested that you consider the age range of the other campers. You also may want to think in terms of an experience, whether it's making connections or having fun over a particular activity. There it is, adult summer camps. I pulled up a thing for another one. Here's campcounselors.com. Camp No Counselors. Welcome to America's premier adult summer camp experience. 2026 dates and rates. Oh, that's fire. Summer camp for grown-ups. We host unforgettable all-inclusive weekends for the best camp venues across the country where grown-ups can let loose, try new things, and reconnect with what makes life fun. With nonstop activities, great food, and even better people, Camp No Counselors is your escape from the everyday and the chance to make memories that actually matter. Think Camp Olympics, beers by the campfires, themed parties, and hanging out with the brand new friends. Whether you're camping solo with your crew or as a part of a special celebration, you'll find connection, nostalgia, and joy waiting for you. Oh, that's beautiful, bro. Let adults be adults, bro. Unplug, unwind, and celebrate. Now, looking at these photos, I think it's important to look at these photos. If you're of a particular, know what I mean? I don't know if I'll just be gone if it ain't a lot of, stay safe. Play like a kid, book a camp, no counselor ticket. This in Texas, New York, California, New York. That's featured in Rolling Stone, all these different places. So yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say. You guys make sure you're kind to folks because you just never know what people are going through and things of that sort. Things are difficult for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And, just be kind to people, bro. As we close in on the 3-hour mark, I just want to say I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for watching. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Have a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Please go out and have a great day. I have a busy day of errands and uploads. It's going to be a lot of uploads, so just excuse it. It's just going to be a lot. So, yeah, that's that. And I'm like 3 days behind on uploads, so 3 days worth of uploads of live streams. So, you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm out of here, man. Peace.
Rashad, why you
Anyways.
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.